Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we return once again to the mysterious world of the Sanxingdui series, a story hidden beneath the earth for thousands of years, waiting silently for humanity to rediscover its forgotten glory. Long before many of the great ancient civilizations of the world reached their peak, in a fertile river basin of ancient China, an extraordinary culture was rising, thriving, and creating wonders unlike anything ever seen before. This civilization, unknown to history for nearly 3 millennia, would one day challenge everything historians believed about the origins of early Chinese culture. The story begins in the quiet countryside, where farmers digging the soil accidentally uncovered fragments of jade, bronze, and gold, objects so unusual and artistically advanced that experts were left astonished. As archaeologists began careful excavations, they uncovered massive bronze masks with strange, piercing eyes, towering statues unlike any human form, sacred bronze trees reaching toward the sky, and ritual pits filled with thousands of broken treasures, deliberately buried as if part of a final mysterious ceremony. These discoveries revealed a civilization that flourished around 1200 BCE, powerful, creative, and spiritually rich, yet completely different from the cultures recorded in traditional history. The bronze craftsmanship found here showed astonishing technological mastery, with complex casting techniques and imaginative designs that remain impressive even by modern standards. Many of the masks were covered in delicate gold foil, their exaggerated eyes and sharp features suggesting deep spiritual meaning, perhaps representing gods, ancestors, or powerful rulers believed to watch over the people. The famous bronze tree, rising tall with intricate branches, appears to symbolize a sacred connection between heaven, earth, and humanity, hinting at a complex belief system that modern researchers are still struggling to fully understand. Yet, despite its brilliance, this civilization remains one of the greatest mysteries in human history. No written language has been found, no historical records clearly describe these people, and no one knows for certain what language they spoke or what they called their kingdom. Some researchers believe a massive natural disaster, perhaps a powerful earthquake or devastating flood, forced the inhabitants to abandon their city, while others suggest the people may have migrated and merged into nearby cultures, leaving behind their sacred objects in a dramatic act of ritual sacrifice. The discovery of large sacrificial pits shocked the world, as thousands of valuable artifacts were found intentionally broken, burned, and buried, suggesting a powerful ceremonial event, possibly marking the end of an era or a desperate appeal to divine forces during a time of crisis. Recent excavations using advanced technology have revealed even more astonishing treasures, including delicate gold masks, finely carved ivory, and remnants of ancient silk, proving this was not an isolated settlement but a highly sophisticated society connected to distant regions through trade and cultural exchange. Every new discovery deepens the mystery, raising more questions than answers. Who were the visionary artists who created these surreal bronze faces? Why did their art look so different from other ancient cultures of the region? What powerful event erased their presence so completely that only buried relics survive to tell their story? As we continue this journey together, we will explore the rise of this extraordinary civilization, uncover the secrets behind its strange and beautiful artifacts, and follow the clues left behind by a people who once stood at the frontier of human imagination and spiritual belief. The passage of time tried to silence their story, burying their world beneath layers of earth and legend, but the ground has begun to speak again. Through archaeology, science, and curiosity, the lost voices of this forgotten civilization are slowly returning, whispering secrets from a distant past that refuses to remain hidden. Stay with me as we dive deeper into this ancient mystery, where every artifact tells a story, every discovery reshapes history, and the past comes alive in ways we never expected, guiding us step by step into the shadowy yet fascinating world of a civilization lost in time but never truly gone. Begins in the distant mists of ancient time, long before recorded chronicles could capture the rise and fall of forgotten kingdoms, when a mysterious civilization quietly flourished in the fertile plains of what is now southwestern China. This was a world shaped by rivers, forests, and spiritual imagination, where early communities slowly transformed into a powerful and sophisticated society that would one day astonish modern humanity. For thousands of years, their story slept beneath layers of soil, hidden from memory, untouched by written history, until fate intervened through a simple and unexpected discovery. In the early 20th century, farmers working in their fields uncovered strange fragments of jade and stone, objects unlike anything they had seen before. At first, these relics seemed like isolated curiosities, but as more pieces surfaced, archaeologists realized they were standing at the threshold of something extraordinary, the remains of a civilization lost to time. Careful excavations revealed a hidden world of breathtaking craftsmanship and artistic imagination. Massive bronze masks with exaggerated eyes and mysterious expressions emerged from the earth, their faces unlike any human form, suggesting they represented powerful spiritual beings or legendary ancestors. Towering statues, intricate ornaments, and finely worked jade artifacts pointed to a society rich in symbolism and ritual. Each discovery raised new questions, deepening the mystery surrounding these ancient people who had left behind no written records, no clear language, and no direct explanation of their beliefs or identity. As researchers studied the artifacts, they realized this civilization possessed technological skills far beyond what had been expected for its time. The bronze casting techniques were highly advanced, capable of producing large and complex figures with remarkable precision. Some objects were coated in delicate gold, shining even after thousands of years underground, a testament to both artistic brilliance and cultural importance. Among the most astonishing finds were sacred ritual pits filled with broken treasures, carefully buried in what appeared to be a ceremonial act. Thousands of valuable items had been intentionally smashed, burned, and placed into the ground, suggesting a dramatic moment in history, perhaps a grand ritual offering, a desperate plea to unseen forces, or the symbolic end of an era. The people who created these wonders were not primitive settlers but members of a highly organized society with spiritual depth, artistic vision, and strong communal traditions. Evidence suggests they lived in structured settlements, engaged in skilled craftsmanship, and participated in elaborate ceremonies that connected them to nature, the heavens, and the unseen world. The presence of ivory, jade, and exotic materials hints at long-distance exchange, proving they were not isolated but connected to broader cultural networks. Yet despite their achievements, their story suddenly fades into silence. No clear evidence explains why this civilization declined or where its people went. Some scholars believe a catastrophic natural disaster, such as an earthquake or massive flood, may have forced the inhabitants to abandon their city, while others propose gradual migration and cultural transformation absorbed them into neighboring regions. The absence of written language leaves only material clues, fragments of a puzzle scattered across centuries, waiting for interpretation. As time passed, their city vanished from memory, buried beneath earth and legend, until modern archaeology slowly brought their world back into light. Today, their artifacts stand as silent witnesses to a civilization that once thrived with creativity and spiritual power. Their mysterious masks seem to gaze across time, inviting us to question what we truly know about ancient history. Who were these people who imagined such extraordinary forms? What beliefs inspired their rituals and artistic expression? And what event brought their flourishing culture to a sudden and lasting end? In this series, we will journey step by step into their hidden world, exploring their origins, their rise, their beliefs, and the enduring mystery that surrounds them. The ground may have concealed their story for thousands of years, but the past is awakening once more, and with every discovery, the forgotten voices of this ancient civilization grow clearer, guiding us deeper into one of history's greatest enigmas, a story not only of lost cities and buried treasures, but of human imagination, resilience, and the timeless desire to leave a mark upon the world. Continues as the buried silence of this mysterious civilization slowly begins to reveal the story of its rise, a transformation from scattered early settlements into a powerful and spiritually rich culture that would one day leave behind some of the most astonishing artifacts in ancient history. Long before their bronze masterpieces were created, the people of this land lived close to nature, guided by the rhythms of rivers, seasons, and fertile soil. Small agricultural communities gradually expanded, forming stable villages where families cultivated crops, raised animals, and developed early craftsmanship. Over generations, these simple societies grew more organized, their leaders emerging not only as political guides but also as spiritual figures who connected the community to unseen forces believed to govern the universe. As agriculture improved and food became more abundant, population increased, trade networks slowly formed, and specialized skills began to flourish. Among these skills, metalworking would become the defining achievement of their civilization. Early experimentation with copper and bronze eventually led to remarkable technological mastery, allowing artisans to cast large, complex, and highly detailed objects that required advanced planning, precision, and artistic imagination. Bronze was not merely a material for tools or weapons, it became a sacred medium through which spiritual ideas and cosmic beliefs were expressed. The craftsmen who shaped these objects were likely respected figures within society, working under ritual guidance to create items used in ceremonies, offerings, and sacred events. Over time, the culture developed a distinctive artistic style unlike any other in the ancient world. Human faces were transformed into surreal and symbolic forms, with elongated features, sharp angles, and wide, penetrating eyes that seemed to gaze beyond the physical world. These images may have represented powerful deities, ancestral spirits, or mythological beings believed to protect the people and maintain harmony between heaven and earth. Religion appears to have played a central role in daily life, influencing architecture, art, and community rituals. Ceremonial gatherings may have included music, fire, and offerings, as the people sought guidance, protection, and balance within a universe they believed was alive with unseen energy. Archaeological evidence suggests that the society was highly organized, with designated areas for living, crafting, and ritual activity. Workshops likely existed where skilled artisans worked with bronze, jade, stone, and ivory, producing both sacred objects and items of cultural significance. The presence of exotic materials indicates long-distance connections, suggesting trade routes that brought rare resources from distant regions. This exchange of goods may also have carried ideas, technologies, and cultural influences, contributing to the civilization's rapid development and unique identity. As the civilization reached its peak, its spiritual and artistic achievements became more elaborate. Monumental bronze figures, sacred trees symbolizing cosmic connection, and ritual objects coated in gold reflected both wealth and deep religious symbolism. Yet beneath this brilliance, subtle signs of change began to emerge. Environmental shifts, river movements, or natural disasters may have disrupted the stability of the region, forcing the people to adapt to new challenges. Some settlements show evidence of rebuilding, suggesting periods of hardship or transformation. The most dramatic mystery, however, lies in the ritual pits discovered centuries later. These pits contain thousands of valuable artifacts that had been deliberately broken, burned, and buried in what appears to be a powerful ceremonial act. Such an event may have marked a turning point in the civilization's history, perhaps a response to crisis, a spiritual sacrifice, or a symbolic farewell to an era that was coming to an end. Despite their achievements, no written records survive to explain their story in their own words. Their voices reach us only through silent artifacts, fragments of metal and stone that carry echoes of belief, creativity, and human experience. As centuries passed, the civilization gradually faded from the historical landscape, its cities abandoned, its rituals silenced, and its memory lost beneath the soil. Yet the legacy of these people did not completely vanish. Traces of their influence may have lived on in neighboring cultures, absorbed into the broader tapestry of regional history. Today, as archaeologists continue to uncover new discoveries, each artifact adds another piece to the puzzle of their existence. The rise of this mysterious civilization reminds us that human history is far more complex than once imagined, filled with cultures that flourished brilliantly before disappearing into obscurity. In the next part of this journey, we will explore the height of their artistic and spiritual power, the meaning behind their extraordinary creations, and the growing mystery that surrounds the final chapter of a civilization that once stood among the most remarkable societies of the ancient world, yet left behind no written memory, only silent wonders waiting to be understood. Unfolds at the height of this mysterious civilization's power, when artistic brilliance, spiritual belief, and technological mastery came together to create a culture unlike any other in the ancient world. By this time, the society had grown strong and organized, its people united by shared rituals, cosmic beliefs, and a deep connection to both nature and the unseen forces they believed shaped their destiny. The heart of their civilization was not defined by conquest or warfare, but by spiritual expression and symbolic creation. Their artisans, guided by tradition and ritual knowledge, began producing some of the most extraordinary bronze works ever seen in early human history. These were not ordinary objects but sacred masterpieces, infused with meaning and purpose. Towering statues with elongated limbs and solemn expression stood as silent guardians of ceremonial spaces, while intricate masks with wide, penetrating eyes seemed to gaze beyond the physical world, perhaps representing divine beings, ancestral spirits, or legendary rulers who watched over the living. Gold, a symbol of light and heavenly power, was carefully applied to certain artifacts, giving them an otherworldly glow that must have inspired awe during ancient rituals. The famous bronze tree, with its branching structure reaching upward, likely symbolized a cosmic bridge connecting heaven, earth, and humanity, reflecting a worldview in which all existence was interconnected. Ritual life during this period was probably elaborate and deeply emotional, involving music, fire, offerings, and symbolic acts meant to maintain harmony between the human world and the universe. Ceremonies may have marked seasonal changes, honored ancestors, or sought protection from natural forces such as floods, storms, and droughts. Archaeological remains suggest large communal gatherings where sacred objects were displayed, carried, or offered, reinforcing unity among the people and strengthening their shared identity. Craftsmanship reached astonishing levels of precision, showing not only technical skill but also careful planning and artistic imagination. Bronze casting required complex molds, controlled temperatures, and coordinated labor, indicating a highly organized society with specialized roles. Jade carving, ivory shaping, and fine ornament production reveal a culture that valued beauty, symbolism, and spiritual significance as much as practical function. The presence of exotic materials suggests long-distance trade, bringing rare resources and perhaps new ideas into the civilization, further enriching its culture. Yet even at its peak, subtle signs of uncertainty began to appear. Environmental shifts may have altered river paths, affecting agriculture and settlement stability. Some archaeological layers suggest rebuilding and adaptation, hinting at challenges faced by the people. Whether these challenges were gradual or sudden remains unknown, but they may have influenced the society's spiritual practices, perhaps leading to more intense rituals in response to perceived imbalance in the cosmos. The most dramatic and puzzling evidence of this period lies in the great sacrificial pits, where thousands of valuable objects were deliberately broken, burned, and buried. This was no random destruction but a purposeful, ceremonial act. The careful placement of fragments suggests ritual meaning, possibly symbolizing renewal, transformation, or a final offering to divine forces during a time of crisis. Some scholars believe this event marked a turning point, perhaps connected to environmental disaster, political upheaval, or spiritual transition. After this moment, the brilliance of the civilization begins to fade from the archaeological record, leaving behind silence and unanswered questions. Without written language, their story must be reconstructed from artifacts alone, each object a fragment of memory preserved in metal and stone. Who were the visionary creators behind these surreal bronze faces? What stories and myths shaped their beliefs? And what powerful event led them to bury their sacred treasures, as if sealing away the soul of their civilization? As centuries passed, their cities were gradually abandoned, their rituals forgotten, and their achievements hidden beneath layers of earth. Nature reclaimed their world, and history moved forward without remembering their name. Yet their legacy did not vanish completely. The echoes of their artistry and symbolism may have influenced neighboring cultures, quietly shaping the broader evolution of ancient civilization in the region. Today, as modern archaeology continues to uncover new discoveries, the story of this mysterious society grows clearer yet more complex, revealing a culture of remarkable creativity, spiritual depth, and human imagination. In the next part, we will explore the mystery of their decline, the possible disasters and transformations that reshaped their world, and the enduring enigma of a civilization that rose brilliantly, created wonders beyond its time, and then disappeared into silence, leaving only buried voices waiting to be heard once more. Turns toward the great mystery that surrounds the decline of this extraordinary civilization, a chapter filled with uncertainty, speculation, and silent clues buried beneath layers of earth and time. At the height of their cultural and spiritual power, the people had created magnificent bronze works, sacred objects, and ceremonial spaces that reflected both technological brilliance and deep cosmological belief. Yet history shows that even the most remarkable civilizations can face forces beyond their control, and for this ancient society, the path toward disappearance appears to have begun gradually, shaped by both natural change and human response. One of the strongest theories suggests that environmental transformation played a critical role. The region where this civilization thrived was closely connected to powerful river systems, which provided fertile soil, water, and life. However, rivers are unpredictable, capable of shifting course, flooding vast areas, or drying unexpectedly. Geological evidence indicates that significant flooding or seismic activity may have altered the landscape, damaging settlements and disrupting agriculture. A major earthquake could have redirected river channels, cutting off water sources and forcing communities to abandon their homes in search of stability elsewhere. Such events would not only threaten survival but also deeply impact spiritual beliefs, as the people may have interpreted natural disasters as signs of cosmic imbalance or divine warning. Archaeological findings reveal evidence of sudden and dramatic ritual activity during this period of uncertainty. The famous sacrificial pits, filled with thousands of intentionally broken and burned artifacts, suggest a powerful ceremonial response to crisis. These were not random acts of destruction but carefully organized rituals. Sacred masks, bronze statues, jade objects, and golden ornaments, symbols of spiritual connection and cultural identity, were deliberately sacrificed, perhaps as offerings to unseen forces, seeking protection, renewal, or guidance in a time of fear. The scale of these sacrifices implies a moment of great importance, possibly marking the end of an era or a desperate attempt to restore harmony between humanity and the cosmos. Another possibility is social transformation. As environmental stress increased, political and social structures may have weakened, causing communities to migrate gradually towards safer regions. Rather than a sudden collapse, the civilization may have slowly dissolved, its people merging with neighboring cultures and carrying fragments of their traditions with them. The absence of written language leaves no direct testimony, but cultural echoes found in surrounding regions hint that their influence did not vanish entirely. Artistic motifs, bronze techniques, and symbolic forms appearing in later cultures may trace their roots back to this mysterious society. Despite these clues, many questions remain unanswered. Why were their most sacred objects buried instead of preserved? Did they believe their world was ending, or were they preparing for renewal in another place? The silence of history offers no clear answer, only fragments of possibility. As centuries passed, their once thriving centers were reclaimed by nature. Forests grew, rivers shifted, and the memory of their existence faded completely from human knowledge. Generations lived and died above their buried world, unaware of the remarkable civilization resting beneath their feet. It was only in modern times, through accidental discovery and careful archaeological work, that their story began to return to light. Each artifact recovered from the soil speaks not only of artistic genius but also of resilience, adaptation, and the fragile balance between humanity and nature. Their disappearance reminds us that civilizations are not permanent. They rise, flourish, and sometimes fade, leaving behind only traces for future generations to interpret. Yet there is also a sense of continuity within their story. The creativity, spirituality, and symbolic imagination expressed in their bronze works reflect universal human desires to understand existence, seek harmony, and leave a lasting mark upon the world. Though their cities fell silent, their legacy endured in hidden form, waiting patiently for rediscovery. Today, as researchers continue to explore their remains, new findings constantly reshape our understanding, revealing a culture far more complex and interconnected than once imagined. In the next part of this journey, we will examine how modern archaeology uncovered their lost world, the groundbreaking discoveries that astonished historians, and how advanced technology is helping us hear the distant echoes of a civilization that once shone brilliantly before disappearing into the shadows of time, leaving behind one of history's most captivating and enduring mysteries. Begins with the dramatic rediscovery of a civilization long erased from memory, when the silent earth finally revealed the hidden world buried beneath it. For thousands of years, the story of this mysterious society remained unknown, its cities forgotten, its people unremembered, and its achievements concealed beneath layers of soil and time. Then, in the early 20th century, a chance discovery changed everything. Farmers digging wells in quiet rural land uncovered strange fragments of jade and stone, objects shaped by human hands yet unlike anything familiar. At first, these discoveries seemed isolated and puzzling, but they soon attracted the attention of researchers who sensed that something extraordinary lay beneath the surface. Careful archaeological work began, slowly peeling back the earth to reveal a forgotten chapter of human history. As excavations expanded, the scale of the discovery became astonishing. Massive bronze masks with surreal features emerged, their wide eyes and sharp forms reflecting a style never before seen in ancient art. Towering statues, sacred objects, and finely crafted ornaments followed, each piece revealing remarkable technical skill and symbolic meaning. Archaeologists realized they were uncovering the remains of a sophisticated civilization, one that had developed advanced bronze casting techniques, rich spiritual traditions, and complex social organization. The discovery challenged long-held assumptions about early cultural development in the region, proving that history was far more diverse and interconnected than previously believed. The most dramatic moment came when researchers uncovered large ritual pits filled with thousands of artifacts. These objects were not preserved intact but intentionally broken, burned, and carefully buried, indicating a ceremonial act of immense importance. Bronze masks, jade carvings, golden ornaments, ivory fragments, and ritual objects lay together in silent testimony to a powerful event from the distant past. The arrangement of these items suggested deliberate ritual behavior, perhaps a grand offering, a symbolic farewell, or a response to crisis. The world of archaeology was stunned, as nothing quite like this had ever been found before. The discovery sparked global curiosity and opened new paths of research. Scholars began analyzing the materials, techniques, and artistic forms, uncovering evidence of technological mastery and cultural richness. Bronze casting methods revealed complex mold systems and controlled production, indicating organized labor and skilled craftsmanship. The presence of exotic materials suggested long-distance connections, hinting at trade networks that carried resources and ideas across vast regions. Each artifact told a story, not through written words but through form, material, and symbolism. The mysterious masks, with their penetrating gaze, seemed almost alive, inviting modern observers to imagine the beliefs and myths that shaped this civilization. As research continued, modern technology played an increasingly important role. Advanced imaging, chemical analysis, and environmental studies allowed archaeologists to reconstruct ancient processes and better understand how these people lived. Soil layers revealed settlement patterns, showing how communities were organized and how they adapted to changing environments. Analysis of artifacts uncovered traces of pigments, metals, and organic materials, offering insights into ancient craftsmanship and ritual practice. With each new discovery, the lost civilization grew clearer yet more mysterious, revealing extraordinary creativity while raising deeper questions about identity and destiny. The rediscovery of this civilization did more than uncover artifacts, it reshaped our understanding of human history. It demonstrated that remarkable cultures could flourish independently, developing unique artistic languages and spiritual traditions beyond the boundaries of recorded history. It reminded humanity that the past still holds hidden stories waiting to be revealed, and that even the smallest discovery can open the door to forgotten worlds. Yet despite the progress of archaeology, many mysteries remain unsolved. The meaning behind their surreal art, the reason for their sudden disappearance, and the identity of the people themselves continue to inspire debate and curiosity. Their civilization speaks to us only through silent objects, fragments of memory preserved across millennia. In the next part of this journey, we will explore how ongoing excavations and new discoveries continue to deepen the mystery, revealing fresh clues about their beliefs, their daily lives, and the enduring legacy of a civilization that vanished from history yet returned to reshape our understanding of the ancient world, reminding us that beneath the ground we walk upon, countless untold stories still wait patiently to be discovered. Delves into the cultural and spiritual life of the civilization revealed at Sanxingdui, a society whose extraordinary creativity and ritual sophistication continue to captivate modern scholars and enthusiasts alike. At the height of its development, this society had established a unique worldview, one deeply intertwined with the forces of nature, celestial phenomena, and ancestral reverence. The people demonstrated an acute awareness of the environment around them, understanding the rhythms of rivers, the cycles of seasons, and the influence of weather patterns on agriculture and survival. Their settlements were carefully positioned to take advantage of fertile land and access to water, yet the structures themselves reflect more than just practicality, they embody a sophisticated aesthetic sensibility and symbolic meaning. Houses, communal spaces, and ritual areas were arranged to reflect spiritual principles, suggesting that every aspect of life was informed by belief and tradition. The artifacts discovered at Sanxingdui provide unparalleled insight into the spiritual life of the people. Bronze masks, many of them larger than life, depict exaggerated facial features with wide, staring eyes, flaring nostrils, and angular forms. These masks likely represented deities, ancestral spirits, or mythological beings who were central to communal rituals. Some scholars suggest that these faces were designed to convey power and authority, to awe participants in ceremonies, or to serve as intermediaries between humans and the divine. The presence of sacred trees, some cast in bronze with intricate branches and symbolic ornaments, further reflects a cosmological understanding in which life, death, and the universe were interconnected. These bronze trees may have represented the axis of the cosmos, connecting the human world with celestial realms, and serving as focal points for communal rituals and offerings. Ritual practices themselves were highly developed. Archaeological evidence, including large pits containing deliberately broken, burned, and buried artifacts, points to complex ceremonial behaviors. These sacrificial deposits suggest that the society engaged in symbolic acts of renewal, appeasement, or transformation, perhaps in response to natural calamities or social upheaval. The careful placement of objects and the diversity of materials indicate a structured ceremonial protocol, with objects chosen for both symbolic and aesthetic significance. The materials used in these rituals were both local and exotic. Jade, ivory, bronze, and gold were common, while some artifacts incorporated materials that likely arrived through trade or exchange networks extending beyond the immediate region. This suggests not only an appreciation for rare and precious resources but also active engagement with other societies, whether through commerce, cultural exchange, or shared ritual knowledge. Artistry was central to identity, status, and spirituality. Each bronze casting, jade carving, or ivory figure reflects meticulous planning, technical expertise, and creative imagination. Some items display naturalistic motifs, while others are abstract or surreal, combining human, animal, and fantastical elements into symbolic representations that may have conveyed myths, historical events, or cosmological ideas. Craftsmanship was accompanied by a deep understanding of metallurgy. Bronze objects were produced using sophisticated casting methods, involving piece molds, precise temperature control, and skilled labor. Gold leaf applied to select objects demonstrates both aesthetic judgment and ceremonial purpose, enhancing the spiritual significance of the pieces. Beyond ritual and artistry, the society displayed social organization and cooperative labor. The scale of bronze works and ritual deposits suggests coordinated effort, specialized knowledge, and social hierarchies capable of mobilizing resources and manpower. Leadership may have been intertwined with spiritual authority, as the most impressive artifacts appear closely linked to ceremonial spaces and practices. Despite the sophistication evident in art, ritual, and social structure, this society ultimately faced forces that challenged its continuity. Environmental shifts, such as changes in river courses or natural disasters, may have strained agricultural production and settlement stability. Social adaptation, migration, or internal reorganization may have been necessary responses, reflected in the archaeological record as rebuilt structures, relocated settlements, or intensified ritual activity. The combination of environmental and social pressures may have culminated in the dramatic sacrificial deposits that mark the final centuries of the civilization's existence. These pits, containing shattered masks, statues, and ritual objects, reveal a society attempting to maintain cosmic balance, commemorate ancestors, or respond to existential threats through symbolic action. Though the civilization disappeared from the historical record, the artistic and spiritual legacy left behind remains profoundly influential. Modern excavations continue to uncover new artifacts, shedding light on their technological prowess, ritual complexity, and imaginative vision. Each object recovered offers a glimpse into a world that was at once highly organized, deeply spiritual, and uniquely creative, revealing a society that sought to understand its place in the universe and express that understanding in extraordinary material forms. In the next part of this series, we will explore the intricate symbolism embedded in these artifacts, the myths and beliefs they may represent, and how modern interpretation is gradually allowing us to reconstruct the spiritual and cultural worldview of a civilization that vanished from sight yet endures through its silent, remarkable creations. Continues the exploration of the Sanxingdui civilization, focusing on the profound symbolism embedded within its art, the complex rituals that defined its society, and the cultural legacy that continues to intrigue historians and archaeologists today. At the core of this civilization's creative expression was a deep understanding of the interconnectedness between the natural world, human society, and the spiritual realm, a philosophy reflected in every bronze mask, jade carving, and ceremonial artifact unearthed from the soil. The masks, with their exaggerated eyes, flared nostrils, and angular features, were more than mere representations of human or divine figures. They were visual embodiments of authority, protection, and cosmic power. Some scholars interpret the wide, staring eyes as a means of perceiving spiritual truths beyond ordinary human comprehension, while others suggest they may have served to intimidate, inspire, or connect participants in ritual gatherings with the supernatural. Bronze trees, tall and intricately detailed, are believed to have symbolized the axis of the cosmos, a bridge linking the earthly and celestial realms. Each branch and ornament on these trees may have held specific ritual significance, representing celestial bodies, ancestral spirits, or mythological narratives, creating a visual language through which the people could engage with the unseen forces governing their lives. The ritual pits, which contain deliberately broken, burned, and buried artifacts, are among the most compelling evidence of the society's ceremonial practices. The careful destruction and placement of valuable items indicate a highly structured ritual protocol, likely conducted by spiritual leaders or a designated priestly class. These acts were possibly intended to renew spiritual energy, appease gods or ancestors, or symbolically mark transitions in political or environmental circumstances. The presence of both local and exotic materials within these pits demonstrates not only aesthetic preference but also a sophisticated understanding of cultural and economic networks, suggesting that the society was connected to other regions through trade, exchange, or shared ritual knowledge. Artistic production was closely tied to spiritual and social hierarchy. Skilled artisans specialized in bronze casting, jade carving, and ivory work, creating objects of both ceremonial and symbolic importance. The technical sophistication of their bronze casting, which required precise mold-making, temperature control, and cooperative labor, points to organized workshops and highly developed knowledge systems. Gold leaf, applied sparingly to certain objects, enhanced the sacred aura of key artifacts, underscoring the combination of technical mastery and spiritual intent. Socially, the civilization exhibited both hierarchy and collective coordination. Leaders, possibly priest-kings, may have guided not only governance but also spiritual practices, directing large-scale ritual events, organizing labor for monumental projects, and preserving the cultural knowledge necessary to sustain a cohesive society. Communities appear to have been well structured, with settlements organized around sacred spaces, workshops, and communal areas, reflecting a balance between functional living and spiritual expression. Environmental and societal challenges, however, likely tested the resilience of this civilization. Geological studies suggest periods of flooding, river course shifts, or seismic activity that could have disrupted agriculture, settlement patterns, and social stability. These pressures may have prompted both adaptation and intensified ritual activity, as communities sought to restore balance through ceremonial acts. The deliberate burial of ritual artifacts in sacrificial pits may have represented both a spiritual and social response to crisis, a means of reaffirming communal values, honoring ancestors, and seeking divine intervention during times of uncertainty. Despite the apparent disappearance of the civilization from historical records, its artistic and spiritual achievements left an enduring legacy. Techniques, motifs, and symbolic forms discovered at Sanxingdui have influenced subsequent cultures in the region, providing indirect continuity through visual language and material culture. Modern archaeological methods continue to expand our understanding of the civilization, employing advanced imaging, chemical analysis, and environmental reconstruction to piece together daily life, ritual practices, and the broader worldview of the people. Each artifact recovered adds depth to the narrative, revealing not only technical skill and aesthetic sensibility but also the philosophical and spiritual ideas that shaped this unique culture. The complexity of their symbolic system challenges researchers to interpret their beliefs, cosmology, and social organization, offering glimpses into a society that balanced practicality with profound ritual expression. In the next segment of this series, we will delve into the international significance of these discoveries, exploring how Sanxingdui reshaped global perspectives on ancient civilizations, prompted new theories about cultural development in early China, and continues to inspire curiosity and study in fields ranging from art history and archaeology to anthropology and metallurgy, revealing that even civilizations long vanished from the historical record can continue to speak powerfully through their creations, inviting us to imagine the world as it once was through the eyes of those who lived, worshipped, and dreamed at the heart of Sanxingdui. Delves deeper into the broader cultural and historical significance of the Sanxingdui civilization, a society whose extraordinary artistry, technological sophistication, and spiritual depth continue to captivate modern researchers and the public alike. By the time this civilization had reached its peak, it had established a rich cultural identity, expressed through monumental bronze works, jade carvings, and gold ornaments, each item carefully designed not only for aesthetic appeal but also to embody religious, cosmological, or political meaning. The massive masks unearthed from the archaeological site, with their wide, penetrating eyes and exaggerated features, are perhaps the most iconic artifacts, capturing both the imagination of modern observers and the spiritual essence of the ancient culture. These masks may have served multiple purposes, as ritual intermediaries connecting humans with divine or ancestral forces, as symbols of social authority and spiritual power, or as tools to convey mythological narratives during communal ceremonies. Their surreal, almost otherworldly appearance suggests a highly developed symbolic language that modern scholars are only beginning to decipher. Bronze trees, another hallmark of the civilization, likely represented a cosmological axis connecting heaven, earth, and humanity, reflecting a worldview in which all existence was interconnected. Branches adorned with ornaments may have symbolized celestial bodies, spirits, or mythic beings, creating a tangible link between the physical world and the spiritual realm. The ritual pits containing thousands of deliberately broken and burned artifacts offer additional insight into the society's spiritual practices, revealing a culture that invested enormous resources into ceremonial expression. The meticulous placement of these objects indicates a highly organized ritual system, likely overseen by a priestly or elite class, and possibly intended to maintain cosmic balance, appease deities, or mark significant political or environmental transitions. Socially, the civilization demonstrates a combination of hierarchical authority and cooperative labor. The production of large-scale bronze works and ceremonial objects required coordination, specialized skill, and resource management, implying structured workshops, knowledge transfer, and communal participation in spiritual and civic life. Leaders, who may have combined political and spiritual roles, appear to have guided both governance and ceremonial practice, maintaining cohesion across the society while reinforcing cultural values and cosmological beliefs. The presence of exotic materials, jade, ivory, rare metals, points to trade networks extending beyond the immediate region, suggesting that the society was not isolated but engaged in long-distance exchange of goods, ideas, and perhaps religious practices. This interaction would have enriched their culture, introducing new motifs, techniques, and symbolic elements that further enhanced the sophistication of their artistic and ritual expression. Despite these achievements, environmental and social pressures may have challenged the sustainability of the civilization. Geological and climatic evidence hints at potential flooding, river course changes, or seismic events that could have disrupted agriculture and settlement stability. Such events may have prompted migration, restructuring of settlements, or intensified ritual practices designed to restore balance and ensure communal survival. The sacrificial pits, with their carefully arranged but destroyed artifacts, may reflect these adaptive responses, combining spiritual devotion with social cohesion in times of uncertainty. Even after the civilization faded from historical memory, its influence persisted indirectly through material culture and artistic motifs that appeared in neighboring regions, leaving traces of its technological, aesthetic, and symbolic innovations. Modern archaeological work, aided by advanced imaging, chemical analysis, and stratigraphic study, continues to illuminate daily life, spiritual practices, and social organization, providing a more nuanced understanding of how the society functioned and flourished. Each new discovery reinforces the sophistication and ingenuity of the civilization, highlighting the integration of technical skill, symbolic thought, and communal coordination that define their identity. The legacy of Sanxingdui challenges conventional narratives about early civilizations, demonstrating that remarkable cultures could develop independently, creating artistic languages, spiritual systems, and societal structures that rival those of more widely recognized contemporaries. The site continues to inspire not only academic research but also public imagination, drawing attention to the capacity of human societies to create extraordinary expressions of culture, belief, and identity even in the absence of written records. As we continue to study the artifacts, analyze the spatial organization of settlements, and explore the environmental and social context of this civilization, a clearer picture emerges of a society that balanced practical survival with spiritual purpose, technical mastery with aesthetic vision, and communal cooperation with symbolic expression. In the next part of this series, we will examine the continuing mysteries that surround Sanxingdui, from unanswered questions about its origins and decline to the ongoing debates regarding the interpretation of its artifacts, rituals, and cosmological worldview, highlighting how this ancient civilization, though vanished from the historical record, continues to shape our understanding of human creativity, ingenuity, and the timeless quest to connect with forces beyond the visible world. The Sanxingdui series delves into the enduring mysteries and unanswered questions surrounding one of the most enigmatic civilizations in human history, a society whose extraordinary artistic achievements, spiritual practices, and technological sophistication continue to captivate researchers and enthusiasts alike. While modern archaeology has uncovered remarkable evidence of their existence, much about the people of Sanxingdui remains unknown, leaving historians to reconstruct their story from the artifacts, ruins, and environmental context that survive. At the core of their culture was a profound connection to the spiritual and natural worlds, expressed through monumental bronze sculptures, intricately carved jade, and ceremonial objects that combined technical mastery with symbolic meaning. The bronze masks, with their wide, staring eyes and dramatic features, are perhaps the most famous legacy of this civilization. They may have served as representations of deities or ancestral spirits, intermediaries between humans and the supernatural, or instruments of authority in ritual contexts. Each mask's design appears intentional and meaningful, conveying aspects of spiritual philosophy, social hierarchy, and communal belief. Alongside these masks, bronze trees and other ritual objects reveal a society deeply invested in cosmology and symbolism. The trees, with branching forms and ornamentation, likely represented the axis connecting heaven, earth, and humanity, reflecting a worldview in which the physical and spiritual realms were intricately linked. These objects, carefully arranged in ceremonial spaces and pits, demonstrate not only aesthetic brilliance but also a complex understanding of ritual practice, suggesting the existence of a priestly or elite class capable of guiding both spiritual and civic life. One of the most intriguing aspects of Sanxingdui is the discovery of sacrificial pits, in which thousands of valuable objects, masks, statues, jade, and gold items, were deliberately broken, burned, and buried. The intentional destruction and deposition of these artifacts indicate highly organized ceremonial acts, possibly designed to restore cosmic balance, mark significant societal changes, or appease deities in response to environmental or political crises. The scale of these sacrifices suggests a society capable of coordinated labor and symbolic action on a grand scale, reflecting both social cohesion and spiritual intensity. Archaeological evidence also points to the use of exotic materials and long-distance exchange, indicating that the civilization was not isolated but participated in broader networks of trade and cultural interaction. These connections likely introduced new techniques, artistic motifs, and symbolic ideas, enriching the cultural landscape and demonstrating an understanding of the wider world beyond their immediate settlements. Technologically, the civilization exhibited remarkable skill in bronze casting, with advanced mold-making, temperature control, and cooperative production that allowed for the creation of massive and complex objects. Jade carving, ivory work, and the application of gold leaf reveal both artistic sophistication and ritual significance, highlighting a society that valued both beauty and spiritual meaning in its material culture. Despite these achievements, the reasons for the civilization's decline remain uncertain. Environmental factors, such as flooding, earthquakes, or changes in river courses, may have disrupted agriculture and settlement patterns, prompting migration, social restructuring, or intensified ritual activity. It is possible that the dramatic deposition of ritual objects represents a deliberate response to crisis, an attempt to restore balance or commemorate the end of an era. Social factors may have played a role as well, with shifts in leadership, population movement, or external pressures influencing the gradual disappearance of the culture from historical memory. What is certain is that the civilization of Sanxingdui left no written records, and therefore its story must be interpreted entirely through its material remains. Each artifact, from monumental masks to delicate ornaments, provides a fragmentary window into their beliefs, social structures, and daily life, yet also raises new questions, leaving much to the imagination of scholars and the public alike. The influence of Sanxingdui may have extended beyond its immediate region, with stylistic and technological elements appearing in later cultures, suggesting indirect continuity even after the disappearance of the central settlements. Modern archaeology, aided by advanced imaging techniques, chemical analysis, and environmental reconstruction, continues to uncover new information, revealing settlement patterns, ritual practices, and technological methods that deepen our understanding of the civilization's complexity. As researchers examine these discoveries, they gain insight not only into the artistic and spiritual achievements of Sanxingdui but also into the resilience, creativity, and ingenuity of a society that thrived in a challenging and dynamic environment. The story of Sanxingdui challenges conventional narratives about the development of early civilizations, demonstrating that sophisticated, independent cultures could arise in unexpected regions, creating unique symbolic languages and material legacies that rival those of more widely known contemporaries. In the next part of this series, we will explore the ways in which ongoing research continues to reshape our understanding of Sanxingdui, examining new discoveries, technological analysis, and the evolving interpretations of scholars, revealing how a civilization long lost to history continues to illuminate human creativity, spiritual exploration, and the enduring capacity of material culture to convey meaning across millennia. Brings the Sanxingdui series to a point where we can reflect on the civilization's enduring legacy, the continuing discoveries that reshape our understanding of ancient China, and the profound lessons that this lost society offers to the modern world. By now, it is clear that the people of Sanxingdui were not merely craftsmen or ritualists, they were visionaries who combined technical mastery, spiritual insight, and social organization to create a culture whose influence echoes across millennia. Their artistic output, particularly the monumental bronze masks, intricately carved jade objects, and gilded artifacts, speaks to a society deeply invested in expressing its cosmology, authority, and connection to the spiritual realm. Each piece demonstrates a careful balance between aesthetics and function, with exaggerated facial features, wide staring eyes, and surreal forms suggesting both reverence and an attempt to bridge the human and divine. These masks may have represented deities, ancestors, or mythological beings, serving as central elements in rituals designed to ensure social cohesion, cosmic balance, and spiritual protection. Bronze trees and ceremonial objects further reinforce the civilization's sophisticated symbolic language. Branches, ornaments, and animal motifs likely conveyed cosmological principles, mythological narratives, or ancestral veneration, while the careful placement of these objects in ritual spaces and sacrificial pits underscores the society's understanding of sacred geography, spatial organization, and ceremonial protocol. The sacrificial pits themselves remain among the most compelling evidence of the civilization's complex ritual life. The deliberate breaking, burning, and burial of thousands of valuable artifacts indicates a structured ceremonial system, perhaps enacted during periods of crisis, environmental upheaval, or societal transformation. These acts may have symbolized renewal, commemoration, or appeals to divine forces, reflecting a society capable of both practical organization and abstract spiritual thought. Technologically, Sanxingdui exemplifies early mastery of metallurgy. Large bronze sculptures required advanced mold-making, precise temperature control, and cooperative labor, while jade carving, ivory work, and gold application demonstrate meticulous attention to detail and ceremonial purpose. The presence of exotic materials suggests participation in long-distance trade or cultural exchange, revealing that the society was engaged with a broader world and responsive to new ideas, resources, and influences. Despite these achievements, the civilization ultimately disappeared from historical record, leaving behind no written language and no explicit explanation of its fate. Scholars speculate that environmental changes, such as flooding, seismic activity, or shifting river systems, combined with social factors like migration, leadership transitions, or population redistribution, may have contributed to the decline. The ritual pits may therefore represent both a spiritual response to these challenges and a symbolic attempt to preserve or honor a world that was ending. Archaeologically, Sanxingdui continues to challenge researchers. Each new excavation uncovers additional artifacts, settlement features, or traces of ritual practice, gradually filling gaps in our understanding while simultaneously raising new questions. Modern techniques, including chemical analysis, imaging, and environmental reconstruction, allow for a more nuanced view of the society's technological skill, artistic creativity, and adaptation to its environment. The influence of Sanxingdui extends beyond the local or regional context. Stylistic elements, bronze techniques, and symbolic motifs appear to have informed neighboring cultures, suggesting a legacy that persisted even after the civilization itself vanished. In this sense, Sanxingdui is not only a story of disappearance but also one of enduring impact, revealing how innovation, ritual practice, and artistic vision can resonate far beyond the lifespan of a single society. The ongoing study of Sanxingdui underscores the importance of material culture as a source of knowledge. Without written records, the civilization communicates through bronze, jade, gold, and ivory, allowing modern observers to reconstruct social hierarchies, spiritual beliefs, and artistic priorities. Each object functions as a voice from the past, conveying meaning, intent, and cultural identity across millennia. For the broader field of archaeology and history, Sanxingdui exemplifies the need to remain open to unexpected discoveries. Its sudden appearance in the modern era disrupted conventional narratives of ancient Chinese civilization, revealing that sophisticated, independent cultures could develop far from the centers previously assumed to define early complexity. This challenges scholars to reconsider assumptions about technological progress, artistic innovation, and the diversity of human experience. Ultimately, the story of Sanxingdui is both a mystery and an inspiration. It reminds us that human creativity, spirituality, and ingenuity can flourish even in isolation, producing artifacts and ideas that endure long after the society itself has vanished. The civilization's monumental masks, ritual objects, and sacred symbols continue to inspire curiosity, imagination, and scholarly inquiry, offering lessons about resilience, adaptation, and the enduring desire to leave a meaningful mark on the world. As research continues, new discoveries promise to illuminate previously hidden aspects of daily life, ceremonial practice, and social organization, deepening our appreciation of a culture that once thrived, disappeared, and yet continues to speak across the ages. In closing this part of the series, we recognize Sanxingdui not merely as an archaeological site but as a window into the richness of human imagination, the power of ritual, and the timeless capacity of a civilization to create beauty, meaning, and mystery that will endure far beyond its own existence. Sanxingdui series explores the continuing mysteries surrounding the origins, societal structure, and cultural achievements of this extraordinary civilization, a society whose material legacy challenges conventional understanding of early human history. Unlike other ancient cultures of the region, Sanxingdui left no written records, and yet its existence is vividly revealed through monumental bronze statues, intricately carved jade objects, ceremonial masks, and gilded artifacts that testify to the society's remarkable technical skill, spiritual sophistication, and artistic vision. The civilization appears to have emerged in the fertile river basins of what is now southwestern China, taking advantage of abundant resources, strategic settlement locations, and access to trade networks that connected distant regions. From small agricultural villages, the society gradually evolved into a complex, highly organized culture, distinguished by its emphasis on ritual, cosmology, and communal cohesion. Central to their worldview was the integration of human, natural, and spiritual realms, a perspective reflected in the design and use of their most iconic artifacts. The bronze masks, with their wide, staring eyes, flared nostrils, and surreal expressions, convey more than physical likeness. They are embodiments of spiritual authority, ritual function, and social hierarchy. Some scholars suggest that the masks served as conduits between humans and divine or ancestral forces, while others argue they were designed to convey power, intimidate, or inspire participants during communal ceremonies. Their exaggerated features may have symbolized heightened perception or spiritual insight, emphasizing the importance of vision and awareness in both ritual and leadership. Bronze trees and other ceremonial objects further illuminate the civilization's cosmology. These trees, with branching forms, ornamentation, and sometimes accompanying animal motifs, likely represented the axis mundi connecting heaven, earth, and humanity. Each branch or ornament may have held specific symbolic meaning, reinforcing the notion that the world was interconnected and that ritual practice was essential to maintain harmony between realms. The discovery of sacrificial pits, containing thousands of deliberately broken, burned, and buried objects, underscores the society's commitment to ritual and spiritual expression. These deposits were carefully arranged, indicating deliberate ceremonial action that may have been undertaken to restore cosmic balance, commemorate significant events, or respond to environmental or social crises. The scale and precision of these practices reveal a society capable of complex organization, social coordination, and symbolic thought. Technologically, the people of Sanxingdui demonstrated remarkable mastery of bronze casting, using sophisticated molds, precise temperature control, and coordinated labor to produce monumental works of both ritual and aesthetic significance. Jade carving, ivory shaping, and selective application of gold demonstrate not only artistic skill but also spiritual purpose, emphasizing the connection between material craftsmanship and symbolic meaning. The presence of exotic materials, possibly obtained through long-distance trade or exchange networks, indicates that the civilization was neither isolated nor static, but engaged with surrounding regions, absorbing new ideas, techniques, and influences that enhanced cultural development. Despite their achievements, the reasons for the civilization's decline remain uncertain. Environmental factors such as flooding, river course shifts, or seismic activity may have disrupted agricultural production, settlement stability, and social organization, prompting migration or adaptation. Simultaneously, social dynamics, including shifts in leadership, population movement, or internal restructuring, may have contributed to gradual transformation or disappearance. The sacrificial pits may represent both a ritual response to crisis and a symbolic act acknowledging the end of an era. The civilization's disappearance, combined with the absence of written records, leaves researchers reliant entirely on material evidence to reconstruct its history. Each artifact, from monumental bronze figures to delicate ornaments, offers clues to social structure, religious practice, and daily life, yet simultaneously poses new questions, inviting continual reinterpretation and debate. Modern archaeology, aided by advanced analytical techniques, continues to illuminate these mysteries. Chemical analysis, imaging, and stratigraphic studies reveal not only methods of production but also usage patterns, spatial organization, and ritual contexts. Environmental reconstruction allows researchers to understand the challenges the society faced, including climate variation, resource management, and ecological pressures, providing a broader picture of how Sanxingdui thrived and ultimately declined. The influence of this civilization extends beyond its immediate region. Elements of artistic style, bronze casting techniques, and symbolic motifs can be traced in later cultures, suggesting indirect continuity and demonstrating that the civilization's ideas resonated far beyond its disappearance. Sanxingdui challenges traditional narratives about the origins and development of ancient civilizations, showing that highly sophisticated societies could emerge independently in regions previously considered peripheral. The series of discoveries not only enriches our understanding of Chinese prehistory but also contributes to global knowledge of human creativity, ritual practice, and technological innovation. In the next installment, we will examine how ongoing excavations continue to reveal new artifacts, reinterpret previously discovered objects, and refine our understanding of social, spiritual, and technological life in Sanxingdui, emphasizing that even civilizations lost to written history can leave enduring lessons about human ingenuity, adaptability, and the desire to connect with forces beyond the visible world, ensuring that the story of Sanxingdui continues to inspire curiosity, scholarship, and wonder across generations. Sanxingdui series delves into the continuing revelations and interpretations that modern archaeology has brought to light, highlighting the extraordinary complexity, creativity, and spiritual depth of this civilization, whose legacy continues to challenge and inspire scholars worldwide. The Society of Sanxingdui, located in the fertile river valleys of what is now Sichuan province, appears to have developed independently of other contemporary Chinese cultures, exhibiting unique artistic styles, technological achievements, and ritual practices that distinguish it from its neighbors. Central to their culture was an intricate cosmology that integrated humans, nature, and the spiritual world, a worldview expressed vividly in their monumental bronze masks, jade carvings, ivory figures, and gold-adorned objects. These artifacts reveal a society deeply attuned to symbolism, ritual, and social hierarchy, as well as a mastery of materials and techniques that demonstrates both technical skill and aesthetic sophistication. The bronze masks, with exaggerated eyes, flaring nostrils, and angular features, are perhaps the most iconic representation of Sanxingdui's spiritual imagination. Scholars suggest that these masks may have functioned as intermediaries between humans and divine or ancestral forces, or as representations of deities, mythological beings, or ritual authority. The wide, penetrating eyes may symbolize heightened perception, the ability to see beyond the material world, or the vigilance of spiritual guardians. Each mask, while individually unique, shares stylistic elements that indicate a codified symbolic language, conveying social, religious, and cosmological meaning. Complementing these masks are bronze trees, animal-shaped figures, and ceremonial vessels, which further reflect the society's complex belief system. The trees, with branching forms and ornate embellishments, may have symbolized a cosmic axis connecting heaven, earth, and humanity, representing both spiritual balance and communal continuity. Animal motifs integrated into bronzes may have conveyed ancestral or mythological significance, linking the human and natural worlds in ways that reinforced ritual practice and cultural identity. One of the most striking discoveries at Sanxingdui is the series of sacrificial pits containing thousands of deliberately broken, burned, and buried artifacts. The careful arrangement of these objects indicates a highly organized ceremonial protocol, likely overseen by spiritual or political elites. Such acts may have served multiple purposes: to restore cosmic balance during times of crisis, to mark significant political or environmental transitions, or to honor ancestors and deities in a manner that reinforced social cohesion. The scale and complexity of these deposits demonstrate a society capable of coordinated labor, ritual precision, and symbolic expression on a monumental scale. Technologically, the civilization demonstrated remarkable expertise in metallurgy. Bronze casting required sophisticated mold-making techniques, controlled heating, and collaborative effort, producing large-scale, intricately detailed objects that have withstood thousands of years. Jade carving, ivory work, and selective application of gold reveal a society that valued material precision, symbolic meaning, and aesthetic excellence. The presence of exotic materials, potentially acquired through trade networks extending beyond the immediate region, suggests that the society was not isolated but engaged with broader cultural and economic systems, integrating new ideas and resources into its own traditions. Despite these achievements, the civilization's decline remains shrouded in mystery. Environmental factors, such as flooding, seismic activity, or changing river patterns, may have disrupted agriculture and settlement stability, while social factors, including shifts in leadership or population movements, may have contributed to gradual transformation. The sacrificial pits may represent ritual responses to such crises, embodying symbolic acts designed to preserve communal identity, restore harmony, or acknowledge transitions within the society. The absence of written records leaves historians reliant on material culture to reconstruct social structures, spiritual beliefs, and daily life. Each artifact provides insight into the civilization's priorities, values, and worldview while simultaneously raising new questions that continue to inspire debate and research. Modern archaeological methods, including chemical and metallurgical analysis, 3D imaging, and environmental reconstruction, have expanded our understanding of Sanxingdui, revealing details about settlement organization, production techniques, and ritual contexts. These studies illuminate the interplay between technology, art, and spirituality, showing how the society integrated practical and symbolic concerns to sustain cohesion and cultural continuity. The influence of Sanxingdui extends beyond its immediate geographic region, as stylistic elements, metallurgical techniques, and symbolic motifs appear in subsequent cultures, suggesting that the civilization's ideas resonated long after its disappearance. In this way, Sanxingdui challenges conventional narratives about the development of early civilizations, demonstrating that highly sophisticated societies could arise independently, express complex symbolic thought, and create enduring legacies even without written language. Ultimately, the study of Sanxingdui offers profound insights into human creativity, ingenuity, and the enduring desire to connect with forces beyond the visible world. Its monumental masks, ritual artifacts, and sacred objects stand as testaments to the civilization's technical skill, spiritual depth, and imaginative vision, inviting modern observers to reconstruct, interpret, and marvel at a society that thrived in secrecy for thousands of years. In the next part of this series, we will examine how recent discoveries continue to reshape our understanding of Sanxingdui, revealing new facets of daily life, ritual practice, and artistic achievement, and demonstrating how even civilizations long lost to memory can leave enduring lessons about human potential, resilience, and the timeless pursuit of meaning through material and spiritual expression. Sanxingdui series explores the continuing fascination with this extraordinary civilization, focusing on the new discoveries, reinterpretations, and insights that have emerged as archaeologists and researchers work to understand the full scope of its cultural, spiritual, and technological achievements. Sanxingdui represents a unique chapter in the history of early human societies, distinguished not only by its remarkable bronze and jade artistry but also by its complex ritual practices, cosmological worldview, and sophisticated social organization. The society appears to have thrived in the fertile river valleys of southwestern China, where abundant natural resources, strategic settlement locations, and access to trade networks allowed the civilization to flourish independently of other contemporary cultures. At the heart of their artistic expression were monumental bronze masks, each one carefully crafted with wide, staring eyes, flared nostrils, and sharply exaggerated features. These masks are more than representations of human or divine faces. They convey a symbolic language that reflects spiritual authority, ancestral reverence, and ritual function. Scholars believe the masks served as intermediaries between humans and the supernatural, tools for ceremonial enactment, or embodiments of deities and mythological beings, capturing the society's sophisticated understanding of the unseen forces shaping their world. Complementing these masks are bronze trees, ceremonial vessels, and animal figures, all meticulously designed to reflect cosmological principles. The bronze trees, often adorned with branches, ornaments, and symbolic motifs, may have represented the axis mundi, connecting heaven, earth, and humanity. Animal figures incorporated into these works suggest mythological or ancestral significance, reinforcing the society's integration of nature, spirituality, and human life. One of the most remarkable aspects of Sanxingdui is the series of sacrificial pits containing thousands of deliberately broken and burned artifacts. These deposits, arranged with precision and care, demonstrate the society's highly developed ritual system. The acts of destruction and burial likely carried profound symbolic meaning, perhaps intended to restore cosmic balance, commemorate significant events, or appease deities during periods of environmental or social stress. The scale of these deposits indicates an organized society capable of mobilizing labor, resources, and spiritual authority to carry out complex ceremonial acts. Technologically, Sanxingdui demonstrates extraordinary mastery of metallurgy and craftsmanship. Bronze casting required advanced mold-making techniques, precise temperature control, and skilled collaboration, producing monumental works that endure thousands of years later. Jade carving, ivory shaping, and selective gilding reflect both aesthetic sophistication and spiritual intention, demonstrating that material culture was inseparable from religious and symbolic purpose. The presence of exotic materials indicates trade or cultural exchange, suggesting that the society was connected to broader networks that enriched its artistic repertoire and introduced new resources, techniques, and symbolic ideas. Despite these achievements, the civilization ultimately disappeared from the historical record, leaving behind no written accounts to explain its decline. Environmental challenges, such as flooding, seismic activity, or shifting river systems, may have disrupted agriculture, settlements, and social structures, while internal social or political factors could have contributed to transformation or migration. The sacrificial pits may thus reflect ritual responses to crisis, symbolic acts designed to preserve communal identity, restore harmony, or mark significant societal transitions. Archaeologists continue to interpret these findings to reconstruct social hierarchies, religious practices, and daily life, recognizing that material artifacts are the primary lens through which the society's history can be understood. Modern research has also highlighted the civilization's enduring influence. Stylistic motifs, technological innovations, and ritual practices appear to have informed neighboring cultures, suggesting that while Sanxingdui itself vanished, its ideas persisted, contributing to the broader development of early civilizations in the region. This challenges traditional assumptions about the emergence of complex societies, demonstrating that highly sophisticated cultures could develop independently, produce unique symbolic languages, and leave enduring legacies even in the absence of written records. Each new excavation, analysis, and technological application, from chemical testing to 3D imaging, provides deeper insight into the society's artistic vision, spiritual beliefs, and technological capabilities. These studies reveal not only practical details about production and resource use but also the intangible dimensions of ritual, cosmology, and cultural identity that define the civilization. In examining Sanxingdui, scholars and observers are reminded of the remarkable capacity of human societies to create meaning, beauty, and spiritual resonance even in isolation, producing works that endure long after the society itself has disappeared. The story of Sanxingdui is therefore both a mystery and a testament to human creativity, inviting us to contemplate the complex interplay of art, ritual, environment, and social organization in shaping a civilization that, though long vanished, continues to inspire curiosity, scholarship, and wonder. In the next part of this series, we will explore the broader implications of these discoveries, considering how Sanxingdui has reshaped our understanding of ancient China, influenced modern interpretations of prehistory, and continues to challenge scholars to reinterpret the ways in which human societies develop, adapt, and express meaning through material culture, ensuring that the legacy of this enigmatic civilization endures in both research and imagination. The Sanxingdui series delves into the continuing exploration of the civilization's profound cultural, spiritual, and technological significance, emphasizing how new discoveries continue to reshape our understanding of its history and enduring legacy. The society of Sanxingdui, which thrived in the fertile river valleys of southwestern China, demonstrates that highly sophisticated civilizations could develop independently, creating a rich artistic and ritual tradition that rivaled the accomplishments of contemporary cultures elsewhere. Central to this civilization's identity was its unique cosmology, which integrated human life, natural forces, and spiritual realms into a coherent worldview expressed through monumental bronze works, jade carvings, gilded objects, and ceremonial artifacts. Among the most striking of these creations are the enormous bronze masks, characterized by wide, staring eyes, flared nostrils, and exaggerated features that suggest both spiritual authority and ritual function. Scholars propose that these masks may have served as conduits between humans and divine or ancestral forces, as representations of deities or mythological beings, or as instruments of social and spiritual authority during complex communal ceremonies. The surreal quality of these masks, combined with their consistent stylistic elements, indicates a highly developed symbolic language capable of conveying cosmological, political, and social meaning without the use of written words. Complementing these masks are bronze trees, animal figures, ritual vessels, and intricate ornaments, all meticulously crafted to reflect cosmological principles and spiritual beliefs. Bronze trees, often elaborately branched and decorated, are believed to represent the axis mundi, linking heaven, earth, and humanity, while the inclusion of animal motifs may signify ancestral spirits, mythological creatures, or natural forces, emphasizing the society's awareness of interconnectedness between the human and non-human worlds. One of the most compelling aspects of Sanxingdui is the discovery of sacrificial pits containing thousands of deliberately broken, burned, and buried objects. The careful placement of these artifacts indicates highly organized ceremonial activity, potentially undertaken to restore cosmic balance, commemorate significant events, or address environmental and social crises. The scale of these deposits reveals a society capable of coordinated labor, ritual precision, and symbolic sophistication, suggesting that spiritual and political authority were intertwined within a structured hierarchy. Technologically, the people of Sanxingdui exhibited remarkable skill in metallurgy and material manipulation. Large bronze statues and intricate ritual objects required advanced mold-making techniques, precise control of heat, and collaborative production. Jade carving, ivory work, and selective gilding demonstrate both aesthetic refinement and spiritual intentionality, reflecting a culture that valued technical mastery as a means of expressing and enacting cosmological principles. The presence of exotic materials, potentially acquired through long-distance trade or cultural exchange, suggests that the civilization engaged with neighboring regions, integrating new ideas and resources into its own artistic and spiritual traditions. Despite its accomplishments, the civilization ultimately vanished from historical records, leaving no written documentation to explain its decline. Archaeologists speculate that environmental disruptions, such as flooding, earthquakes, or changes in river courses, may have affected agricultural production and settlement patterns, while social or political factors could have influenced population movement or structural transformation. The sacrificial pits may therefore represent not only ritual devotion but also adaptive responses to crises, combining spiritual intention with social cohesion during periods of uncertainty. Modern archaeological methods have greatly expanded understanding of Sanxingdui, with chemical analyses, 3D imaging, and environmental reconstruction revealing insights into settlement organization, production techniques, and ritual contexts. These studies demonstrate the intricate integration of technology, artistry, and spirituality, showing that the society's material culture was inseparable from its symbolic and ceremonial life. The influence of Sanxingdui also appears in neighboring regions, with stylistic elements, metallurgical techniques, and symbolic motifs persisting beyond the civilization's disappearance, illustrating how its innovations resonated culturally even after the society itself vanished. By challenging conventional narratives about early Chinese civilization, Sanxingdui highlights the diversity of human creativity, the capacity for independent cultural development, and the enduring power of material expression to convey meaning, identity, and spiritual belief across generations. Each new excavation continues to uncover additional artifacts and spatial evidence, offering fresh insights into daily life, ritual performance, and artistic production. These discoveries not only deepen knowledge of the civilization's technical and aesthetic achievements but also illuminate the intangible dimensions of social hierarchy, cosmological understanding, and community identity. Studying Sanxingdui provides a vivid reminder of humanity's enduring drive to create, imagine, and connect with forces beyond immediate perception, demonstrating how even societies that leave no written record can communicate profound ideas across millennia. In this way, Sanxingdui is both a testament to human ingenuity and a continuing source of scholarly and public fascination, inspiring researchers to uncover more about its lost cities, rituals, and artisans while inviting the wider world to contemplate the mysteries and achievements of a civilization that thrived, disappeared, and yet remains alive through the enduring power of its remarkable creations. The next part of the series will examine the evolving interpretations of these discoveries, the ways in which new technologies are transforming understanding of Sanxingdui, and the broader implications for how ancient societies are studied, reconstructed, and appreciated in the modern era, demonstrating that even long-lost civilizations can illuminate timeless lessons about human creativity, resilience, and the pursuit of meaning. Sanxingdui, located in the fertile river valleys of southwestern China, represents one of the most remarkable examples of an independent and highly developed ancient society, distinguished by its monumental bronze artistry, intricate jade carvings, ceremonial objects, and gilded ornaments, each embodying technical mastery, aesthetic sophistication, and spiritual significance. Central to understanding this civilization is its unique cosmology, which integrated human life, natural forces, and the spiritual realm into a unified worldview. The monumental bronze masks, with their wide, staring eyes, exaggerated features, and angular designs, serve as powerful symbols of this belief system. Scholars suggest that these masks functioned as intermediaries between humans and deities or ancestral spirits, as ritual instruments, or as representations of mythological beings that guided social and spiritual order. Their surreal and otherworldly appearance reflects a highly codified symbolic language capable of conveying authority, spiritual insight, and communal identity without the use of written texts. Complementing the masks are bronze trees, ceremonial vessels, animal figures, and ornamented objects, all of which reflect the civilization's sophisticated understanding of cosmology, ritual, and symbolism. Bronze trees, often elaborately branched and decorated, are thought to represent the axis mundi, the cosmic axis connecting heaven, earth, and humanity, while the inclusion of animal motifs may convey ancestral, mythological, or natural forces. Together, these artifacts demonstrate a culture deeply attuned to the interconnectedness of the physical and spiritual worlds and the central role of ritual in sustaining social and cosmic harmony. One of the most striking aspects of Sanxingdui is the discovery of sacrificial pits containing thousands of deliberately broken, burned, and buried artifacts. The precision and intentionality of these deposits suggest complex ceremonial behavior, likely overseen by religious or political elites, intended to restore balance, commemorate events, or address crises affecting the society. The scale of these ritual acts highlights the organization, coordination, and social cohesion required to carry out large-scale symbolic practices, reflecting both the spiritual and administrative sophistication of the civilization. Technologically, the civilization displayed remarkable mastery of bronze casting, requiring advanced mold-making, precise temperature control, and coordinated labor to produce massive, intricately detailed objects. Jade carving, ivory shaping, and the selective use of gold demonstrate both artistic refinement and ceremonial intention, illustrating how material culture functioned as a medium for spiritual, social, and symbolic communication. The presence of exotic materials within artifacts suggests participation in long-distance trade or cultural exchange networks, indicating that the civilization engaged with broader regional dynamics while developing its own distinctive artistic and symbolic traditions. Despite these achievements, Sanxingdui ultimately disappeared from historical memory, leaving no written record to explain its decline. Environmental disruptions, such as flooding, earthquakes, or changes in river courses, may have affected agricultural productivity and settlement stability, while social or political dynamics, including leadership changes or population movement, could have contributed to gradual transformation. The sacrificial pits may represent ritual responses to such challenges, combining spiritual intention with social cohesion and communal expression during times of uncertainty. Modern archaeological approaches have greatly enhanced understanding of the civilization, employing techniques such as chemical analysis, 3D imaging, and environmental reconstruction to reveal details of production methods, spatial organization, and ritual context. These studies highlight the intricate relationship between technological expertise, artistic expression, and spiritual practice, demonstrating that the society's material culture was inseparable from its symbolic and ceremonial life. The influence of Sanxingdui is evident beyond its immediate geographic context. Stylistic elements, metallurgical techniques, and symbolic motifs appear to have informed neighboring cultures, suggesting that the civilization's ideas and innovations persisted even after its disappearance. This challenges conventional narratives of early civilization development, illustrating that sophisticated, independent societies could emerge and produce enduring cultural legacies without leaving written records. Continued excavation and research are revealing new facets of daily life, ritual performance, and technological practice, providing a more nuanced understanding of the society's complexity, resilience, and adaptability. Each artifact recovered serves as both a testament to human creativity and a vehicle for interpreting the symbolic and spiritual dimensions of Sanxingdui's culture. The study of this civilization underscores the enduring human drive to create, communicate, and connect with forces beyond the visible world, demonstrating how material culture can transcend time and preserve meaning across millennia. In reflecting on the discoveries, ongoing research, and evolving interpretations, Sanxingdui emerges not only as a lost civilization but also as a continuing source of inspiration, challenging scholars and the public to reconsider assumptions about ancient societies and to appreciate the diversity, ingenuity, and spiritual depth of human cultural achievement. The next part of the series will examine how recent technological innovations in archaeology, including remote sensing, advanced dating techniques, and digital reconstruction, are further transforming our understanding of Sanxingdui, revealing previously hidden aspects of its settlements, rituals, and artistry, and highlighting the dynamic interplay between human creativity, environmental adaptation, and the enduring quest for spiritual and cultural expression that defines this remarkable civilization. Sanxingdui series examines the civilization through the lens of its enduring mysteries, cultural ingenuity, and the ways modern technology is reshaping our understanding of a society that thrived and vanished thousands of years ago, leaving behind a material legacy that continues to captivate scholars, historians, and the public alike. Sanxingdui, located in the fertile river valleys of southwestern China, represents one of the most unique examples of an independent ancient civilization, distinguished by monumental bronze works, intricately carved jade objects, gold ornaments, and ceremonial artifacts, all reflecting a sophisticated integration of artistry, technology, and spiritual belief. The society's worldview appears to have been deeply rooted in cosmology, emphasizing the interconnectedness of humans, nature, and the spiritual realm, an understanding vividly expressed in its material culture. Monumental bronze masks, with wide, staring eyes, exaggerated facial features, and surreal expressions, are perhaps the most iconic artifacts of the civilization. These masks likely served multiple functions, as intermediaries between humans and deities or ancestral spirits, as ritual instruments during ceremonies, or as representations of mythological beings that conveyed social and spiritual authority. The dramatic and otherworldly appearance of the masks suggests a symbolic language capable of transmitting cosmological and social meaning without the need for written records. Complementing the masks are bronze trees, ritual vessels, animal figures, and other ornamented objects, each carefully designed to embody spiritual and cosmological concepts. The bronze trees, with their branching forms and decorative motifs, may have represented the axis mundi, connecting heaven, earth, and humanity, while animal motifs likely conveyed ancestral or mythological significance, reinforcing the civilization's integration of natural, spiritual, and human domains. One of the most striking features of Sanxingdui is the sacrificial pits, which contain thousands of deliberately broken, burned, and buried objects. The intentional destruction and careful placement of these artifacts reflect highly organized ceremonial practice, likely overseen by religious or political elites, and may have been performed to restore cosmic balance, commemorate significant events, or respond to environmental or social crises. The scale and precision of these rituals indicate a society capable of coordinated labor, social cohesion, and symbolic sophistication, revealing the profound importance of ritual in sustaining both spiritual and communal order. Technologically, the civilization demonstrates remarkable expertise in bronze casting, employing advanced mold-making techniques, precise control of heat, and collaborative production processes to create large, complex, and detailed works. Jade carving, ivory shaping, and selective application of gold further illustrate the society's technical and artistic mastery, emphasizing the integration of material skill with ceremonial and symbolic intent. The presence of exotic materials, possibly obtained through trade or cultural exchange, suggests that Sanxingdui was connected to broader regional networks, which introduced new resources, ideas, and influences that enriched its artistic and ritual traditions. Despite its achievements, the civilization eventually disappeared from historical memory, leaving no written documentation to explain its decline. Scholars speculate that environmental challenges, such as flooding, seismic events, or changing river systems, may have disrupted agriculture and settlement patterns, while social and political factors, including leadership transitions or population movement, could have contributed to gradual transformation. The sacrificial pits may thus reflect both spiritual devotion and adaptive responses to such challenges, demonstrating how ritual practice was intertwined with social resilience. Modern archaeological techniques have significantly expanded understanding of Sanxingdui, with chemical analyses, imaging technologies, and environmental reconstruction revealing new insights into settlement organization, production methods, and ritual practices. These studies illuminate the interplay between technological expertise, artistic expression, and spiritual belief, showing that the society's material culture was inseparable from its ceremonial and symbolic life. The influence of Sanxingdui extends beyond its immediate geographic region, as stylistic elements, metallurgical techniques, and symbolic motifs appear to have impacted neighboring cultures, suggesting a legacy that persisted long after the civilization itself disappeared. This challenges conventional narratives about early civilizations, demonstrating that sophisticated, independent societies could emerge in unexpected regions and produce enduring cultural and artistic achievements without leaving written records. Continued excavation and research reveal further facets of daily life, ritual performance, and social structure, providing nuanced understanding of the society's adaptability, creativity, and spiritual depth. Each artifact recovered functions as a window into a world that is simultaneously mysterious and vividly expressive, offering insights into the values, beliefs, and imagination of a people whose civilization has long vanished but continues to resonate across millennia. Studying Sanxingdui underscores the human capacity to create, innovate, and seek meaning in ways that transcend time, reminding us that civilizations can communicate enduring lessons through material culture, symbolism, and ritual expression even in the absence of written history. As research advances, particularly through digital reconstruction, remote sensing, and advanced analytical techniques, previously hidden aspects of Sanxingdui are emerging, revealing new layers of social organization, artistic practice, and spiritual life. This ongoing work demonstrates that even long-lost civilizations can continue to influence contemporary understanding of human creativity, resilience, and the timeless pursuit of meaning, illustrating how material culture allows past societies to speak to the present. In the next part of the series, we will explore the evolving interpretations of the civilization's origins, decline, and broader cultural impact, examining how each new discovery challenges assumptions, refines historical narratives, and deepens appreciation for a society that, though vanished from written record, continues to inspire wonder, curiosity, and scholarly inquiry around the world. The Sanxingdui series delves further into the civilization's remarkable achievements and enduring enigmas, exploring how ongoing research continues to illuminate its complex social structure, spiritual life, and technological sophistication, while highlighting the challenges of interpreting a culture that left no written records. Sanxingdui, located in the fertile river valleys of southwestern China, represents one of the most unique examples of independent cultural development in early human history, characterized by its monumental bronze masks, intricately carved jade objects, ceremonial vessels, gilded ornaments, and ritual artifacts, each reflecting a careful balance of technical mastery, aesthetic sophistication, and symbolic meaning. At the core of this civilization was a cosmology that integrated humans, nature, and the spiritual realm into a coherent worldview, a philosophy expressed vividly through its material culture. The monumental bronze masks, with wide, staring eyes, flaring nostrils, and stylized, surreal features, are perhaps the most iconic symbols of this culture. These masks may have functioned as representations of deities, mythological beings, or ancestral spirits, serving as ritual instruments to mediate between humans and the divine, assert social and spiritual authority, or inspire awe during communal ceremonies. The exaggerated and otherworldly appearance of the masks suggests a codified symbolic language, conveying complex social, spiritual, and cosmological messages without the need for written communication. Complementing these masks are bronze trees, ceremonial vessels, animal figures, and finely crafted ornaments, each designed to reflect spiritual, ritual, and cosmological principles. The bronze trees, often adorned with branches, leaves, and symbolic motifs, may have represented the axis mundi, connecting heaven, earth, and humanity, while animal motifs likely embodied ancestral, mythological, or natural forces, reinforcing the interconnectedness of the human and non-human worlds and the centrality of ritual in maintaining cosmic and social balance. Among the most remarkable discoveries at Sanxingdui are the sacrificial pits, containing thousands of deliberately broken, burned, and buried objects. The precision and intentionality of these deposits indicate a highly organized ceremonial system, likely overseen by religious or political elites. These ritual acts may have been performed to restore cosmic balance, commemorate significant events, or respond to environmental or social crises, demonstrating the civilization's ability to combine spiritual devotion with social coordination and collective action. Technologically, the society exhibited extraordinary skill in bronze casting, requiring advanced mold-making techniques, precise temperature control, and coordinated labor to produce massive, intricately detailed sculptures and ceremonial objects. Jade carving, ivory shaping, and selective gilding further exemplify both artistic refinement and ritual intent, highlighting the civilization's emphasis on material precision as a vehicle for spiritual and symbolic expression. The use of exotic materials, possibly obtained through long-distance trade or exchange networks, indicates that the society engaged with broader regional and cultural contexts, absorbing new techniques, ideas, and resources that enriched its artistic and ritual repertoire. Despite its achievements, the civilization ultimately disappeared from historical memory, leaving no written explanation for its decline. Scholars speculate that environmental disruptions, including flooding, seismic activity, or shifts in river courses, may have affected agriculture, settlement stability, and population distribution, while internal social and political factors, such as leadership transitions or migrations, could have contributed to gradual transformation. The sacrificial pits may therefore represent both ritual devotion and adaptive responses to these challenges, demonstrating how spiritual practice was intertwined with social resilience and community cohesion. Modern archaeological methods, including chemical and metallurgical analysis, 3D imaging, and environmental reconstruction, have provided significant insights into Sanxingdui, revealing details of settlement patterns, production techniques, and ritual practice. These studies highlight the integration of technical skill, artistic creativity, and spiritual intention, showing that the society's material culture was inseparable from its symbolic and ceremonial life. The influence of Sanxingdui extends beyond its immediate region, with stylistic motifs, metallurgical techniques, and ritual practices appearing in neighboring cultures, suggesting that its innovations persisted even after the society itself disappeared. This challenges conventional narratives of early civilization, illustrating that sophisticated, independent societies could arise in unexpected regions and produce enduring cultural, spiritual, and technological achievements. Continued excavation and research are revealing new facets of daily life, ritual performance, and social organization, offering a nuanced understanding of the civilization's adaptability, creativity, and spiritual depth. Each artifact recovered serves as both evidence of human ingenuity and a medium for interpreting symbolic and cosmological meaning, allowing modern observers to reconstruct aspects of a culture that thrived without leaving written records. Studying Sanxingdui underscores the human drive to create, innovate, and communicate meaning across time, illustrating how material culture can preserve knowledge, identity, and spiritual expression for millennia. As research progresses, particularly through digital reconstruction, remote sensing, and advanced analytical techniques, previously hidden aspects of Sanxingdui continue to emerge, revealing new insights into settlement organization, ceremonial practice, and technological development. This ongoing work demonstrates that even long-lost civilizations can continue to inform contemporary understanding of human creativity, resilience, and the pursuit of meaning, showing how art, ritual, and technology intersect to sustain a society's worldview and identity. In the next installment, the series will explore how these discoveries are influencing broader interpretations of early Chinese civilization, reshaping historical narratives, and offering lessons about cultural innovation, adaptation, and the enduring human impulse to connect with forces beyond the visible world, confirming that Sanxingdui remains a source of fascination, inspiration, and scholarly inquiry centuries after its disappearance. The Sanxingdui series continues to examine the civilization's remarkable achievements, enduring mysteries, and the insights emerging from ongoing archaeological research, emphasizing the society's unique contributions to art, technology, and ritual practice. Sanxingdui, located in the fertile river valleys of southwestern China, represents one of the most extraordinary examples of an independent ancient civilization, notable for its monumental bronze masks, intricately carved jade objects, ceremonial vessels, gilded ornaments, and other ritual artifacts, each reflecting both technical mastery and profound symbolic meaning. The civilization's worldview appears to have been deeply rooted in cosmology, with humans, nature, and the spiritual realm integrated into a cohesive system of belief that guided daily life, political structure, and ritual practice. Among the most iconic artifacts are the monumental bronze masks, characterized by wide, staring eyes, flared nostrils, and stylized, often surreal facial features. These masks likely served multiple functions, as representations of deities, ancestral spirits, or mythological beings, as ritual instruments during ceremonies, and as symbols of social and spiritual authority within the community. Their exaggerated, otherworldly designs suggest a sophisticated symbolic language capable of conveying complex messages about hierarchy, cosmology, and spiritual insight, without the need for written records. Complementing the masks are bronze trees, animal-shaped figures, ritual vessels, and finely ornamented objects, all carefully constructed to embody spiritual, symbolic, and cosmological principles. The bronze trees, with branching forms and intricate decorations, may have represented the axis mundi, connecting heaven, earth, and humanity, while animal motifs likely conveyed ancestral, mythological, or natural forces, emphasizing the civilization's awareness of interconnectedness between the human and non-human worlds and the centrality of ritual in sustaining cosmic and social balance. One of the most remarkable features of Sanxingdui is the sacrificial pits, which contain thousands of deliberately broken, burned, and buried objects. These deposits, carefully arranged, indicate highly organized ceremonial practices, probably overseen by religious or political elites, and suggest that ritual activity was employed to restore cosmic balance, commemorate significant events, or respond to social or environmental crises. The scale and precision of these deposits demonstrate the society's capacity for coordinated labor, social cohesion, and symbolic expression, revealing that spiritual life and communal organization were deeply intertwined. Technologically, the civilization exhibited extraordinary skill in bronze casting, employing advanced mold-making techniques, precise temperature control, and collaborative production methods to produce large, intricate, and enduring works. Jade carving, ivory shaping, and selective gilding illustrate both artistic sophistication and spiritual intent, reflecting the civilization's belief in the inseparability of material skill and symbolic meaning. The presence of exotic materials, obtained through trade or cultural exchange networks, indicates that Sanxingdui was connected to wider regional interactions, assimilating new techniques, resources, and ideas that enriched its artistic and ritual traditions. Despite its accomplishments, the civilization ultimately disappeared from historical record, leaving no written explanation for its decline. Scholars suggest that environmental factors, such as flooding, earthquakes, or changing river courses, may have disrupted agriculture, settlement patterns, and social stability, while social and political dynamics, including leadership transitions or population movement, could have contributed to gradual transformation. The sacrificial pits may therefore represent not only ritual devotion but also adaptive responses to these challenges, combining spiritual practice with communal resilience and continuity. Modern archaeological methods, including chemical and metallurgical analysis, 3D imaging, and environmental reconstruction, have revealed new insights into Sanxingdui's settlement organization, production techniques, and ceremonial contexts. These studies demonstrate the intricate relationship between technological expertise, artistic creativity, and spiritual expression, showing that the civilization's material culture functioned as both practical tools and vehicles for symbolic and ritual communication. The influence of Sanxingdui extends beyond its immediate region, with stylistic motifs, metallurgical methods, and symbolic practices appearing in neighboring cultures, suggesting that the civilization's ideas endured long after its disappearance. This challenges conventional views of early civilization development, illustrating that highly sophisticated, independent societies could emerge, innovate, and create lasting cultural legacies even without leaving written records. Ongoing excavations continue to reveal new aspects of daily life, social organization, ritual performance, and artistic practice, offering a more nuanced understanding of the civilization's complexity, adaptability, and spiritual depth. Each artifact recovered provides a window into the values, beliefs, and imagination of a society that thrived without leaving written documentation, illustrating the power of material culture to communicate meaning across millennia. Studying Sanxingdui underscores the enduring human drive to create, innovate, and connect with forces beyond the visible world, demonstrating that art, technology, and ritual can preserve knowledge, identity, and spiritual expression long after a civilization has vanished. As research advances, particularly through digital reconstruction, remote sensing, and analytical innovations, previously hidden aspects of Sanxingdui are coming to light, revealing new dimensions of settlement planning, ceremonial practice, and technological development. These discoveries confirm that even long-lost societies can influence contemporary understanding of human creativity, resilience, and the quest for meaning. In the next part of the series, we will examine how these ongoing discoveries are reshaping interpretations of early Chinese civilization, refining historical narratives, and providing insights into cultural innovation, adaptation, and the enduring human impulse to create art, ritual, and technology that transcends time, ensuring that the story of Sanxingdui continues to inspire wonder, scholarship, and imagination around the world. Sanxingdui series examines the civilization through the lens of its enduring mysteries, complex societal structure, and remarkable artistic and technological achievements, highlighting how modern research continues to expand understanding of a culture that thrived millennia ago yet left no written records, speaking to the ingenuity, creativity, and spiritual sophistication of its people. Located in the fertile river valleys of what is now southwestern China, Sanxingdui represents a unique chapter in human history, demonstrating that advanced civilizations could develop independently, producing monumental bronze statues, intricately carved jade objects, ceremonial vessels, gilded ornaments, and other ritual artifacts that embody both technical mastery and profound symbolic meaning. Central to the society's identity was a cosmology that integrated human life, natural forces, and spiritual realms into a coherent worldview, which informed not only daily life and social organization but also ritual practice and artistic expression. The monumental bronze masks, widely regarded as the most iconic artifacts, feature exaggerated eyes, flaring nostrils, and stylized, almost surreal forms, conveying spiritual authority, ritual function, and symbolic meaning. Scholars suggest these masks may have represented deities, mythological beings, or ancestral spirits, acting as intermediaries between humans and the supernatural or asserting social and spiritual hierarchy during ceremonial events. Their otherworldly appearance and consistent stylistic features indicate a complex symbolic language, enabling communication of cosmological and social concepts without reliance on written text. Complementing the masks are bronze trees, animal figures, ritual vessels, and ornately decorated objects, all meticulously crafted to embody spiritual and cosmological principles. Bronze trees, with their branching forms, intricate leaves, and ornamentation, likely represented the axis mundi, connecting heaven, earth, and humanity, while animal motifs may have signified ancestral, mythological, or natural forces, reinforcing the interconnectedness of the human and non-human worlds and the centrality of ritual in maintaining both cosmic and social balance. One of the most remarkable and enigmatic features of Sanxingdui is the sacrificial pits, which contain thousands of deliberately broken, burned, and buried objects. These deposits, carefully arranged, reflect highly organized ritual practice, probably overseen by religious or political elites. Such acts may have served to restore cosmic equilibrium, commemorate significant events, or respond to environmental and social crises, demonstrating that ritual and spiritual expression were deeply intertwined with social organization and collective responsibility. Technologically, the civilization displayed extraordinary skill in metallurgy. Bronze casting required advanced mold-making, precise temperature control, and coordinated labor, producing large-scale, intricate, and durable sculptures and ceremonial artifacts. Jade carving, ivory shaping, and selective application of gold reveal not only aesthetic refinement but also ceremonial purpose, highlighting the civilization's emphasis on integrating technical skill with spiritual and symbolic expression. The presence of exotic materials, acquired through long-distance trade or cultural exchange networks, indicates that Sanxingdui was connected to broader regional dynamics, absorbing new techniques, ideas, and resources that enriched its artistic and ritual repertoire. Despite its achievements, the civilization ultimately disappeared from historical records, leaving no written explanation for its decline. Environmental factors such as flooding, earthquakes, or changes in river courses may have disrupted agriculture, settlement stability, and social cohesion, while internal social or political shifts, including leadership transitions or population movement, may have contributed to gradual transformation. The sacrificial pits may therefore represent both spiritual devotion and adaptive responses to these challenges, revealing the intertwined nature of ritual, social cohesion, and resilience. Modern archaeological techniques, including chemical and metallurgical analysis, 3D imaging, and environmental reconstruction, have provided new insights into Sanxingdui's settlement patterns, production processes, and ceremonial contexts. These studies illustrate the integration of technological expertise, artistic creativity, and spiritual practice, showing that the civilization's material culture functioned both as practical tools and as vehicles for symbolic and ritual communication. The influence of Sanxingdui extends beyond its immediate geographic region. Stylistic motifs, metallurgical techniques, and ritual practices appear to have informed neighboring cultures, suggesting that the civilization's innovations persisted even after its disappearance, challenging conventional narratives about the development of early civilizations and demonstrating that complex societies could emerge independently in regions previously considered peripheral. Continued excavation and research are revealing further dimensions of daily life, social hierarchy, ritual performance, and technological development, offering a more nuanced understanding of the civilization's adaptability, creativity, and spiritual depth. Each artifact recovered serves as both evidence of human ingenuity and a medium for interpreting symbolic and cosmological meaning, allowing modern observers to reconstruct aspects of a society that thrived without written documentation. Studying Sanxingdui underscores the human drive to create, innovate, and seek meaning across time, demonstrating that art, technology, and ritual can preserve knowledge, identity, and spiritual expression for millennia. As research advances, particularly through digital reconstruction, remote sensing, and advanced analytical techniques, previously hidden aspects of the civilization continue to emerge, revealing new insights into settlement organization, ceremonial practice, and artistic production. This ongoing work confirms that even long-lost civilizations can inform contemporary understanding of human creativity, resilience, and the pursuit of meaning. In the next installment of the series, we will explore how these discoveries continue to shape modern interpretations of early Chinese civilization, influence historical narratives, and highlight the enduring human impulse to create, innovate, and connect with forces beyond the visible world, ensuring that the legacy of Sanxingdui remains a source of inspiration, scholarship, and wonder across generations. The Sanxingdui series delves into the civilization's enduring legacy, emphasizing the ways in which ongoing archaeological research, technological innovation, and comparative analysis continue to shed light on one of the most enigmatic and artistically sophisticated societies of ancient China. Sanxingdui, situated in the fertile river valleys of what is now Sichuan province, demonstrates that highly complex and independent civilizations could arise outside the traditional centers of early Chinese culture, developing unique artistic styles, ritual practices, and social structures that challenge conventional historical narratives. Central to understanding this society is its cosmology, which integrated human existence, natural forces, and spiritual realms into a cohesive worldview that informed every aspect of life, from settlement planning and governance to ceremonial ritual and artistic expression. The monumental bronze masks, with their wide, staring eyes, flared nostrils, and surrealized features, remain among the most iconic testaments to this civilization's spiritual and aesthetic vision. Scholars suggest that these masks were not merely decorative but functioned as instruments of ritual, embodiments of deities or mythological beings, and symbols of spiritual and political authority, allowing leaders or priests to mediate between humans and the divine during ceremonial occasions. The exaggerated features of the masks convey heightened perception, vigilance, and transcendence, reflecting a symbolic language that communicated social hierarchy, cosmological understanding, and ritual purpose without the use of written records. Complementing the masks are bronze trees, animal figures, ceremonial vessels, jade ornaments, and other ritual objects, each crafted with meticulous attention to symbolic and spiritual significance. Bronze trees, often elaborately branched and adorned, are interpreted as representations of the axis mundi, linking heaven, earth, and humanity, while animal motifs may represent ancestral spirits, mythological creatures, or natural forces, emphasizing the society's deep awareness of interconnectedness and its reliance on ritual to maintain harmony between human and spiritual realms. One of the most remarkable discoveries associated with Sanxingdui is the series of sacrificial pits containing thousands of deliberately broken, burned, and buried objects. The precise arrangement and ritualized destruction of these artifacts indicate highly organized ceremonial activity, likely orchestrated by political or religious elites, and may have been performed to restore cosmic balance, mark transitions in leadership, respond to environmental crises, or commemorate significant events. The scale and intentionality of these deposits reveal the civilization's capacity for coordinated labor, social cohesion, and symbolic sophistication, demonstrating that ritual practice was inseparable from governance, community identity, and spiritual belief. Technologically, the civilization exhibited extraordinary mastery of bronze casting, employing complex mold-making techniques, precise temperature control, and collaborative production to create monumental and intricately detailed works. Jade carving, ivory shaping, and the selective use of gold further demonstrate the fusion of technical skill and symbolic intent, reflecting a society that regarded material craftsmanship as a means of conveying spiritual meaning and asserting social authority. The discovery of exotic materials and the stylistic diversity of the artifacts suggest participation in long-distance trade or cultural exchange, indicating that Sanxingdui was not isolated but actively engaged with neighboring regions, integrating external influences while maintaining a distinctive cultural identity. Despite these achievements, the civilization eventually disappeared from historical memory, leaving no written explanation for its decline. Environmental disruptions, such as flooding, seismic activity, or shifting river courses, may have undermined agricultural productivity and settlement stability, while social or political factors, including population movement, leadership change, or internal restructuring, may have contributed to gradual transformation. The sacrificial pits, therefore, may reflect both ritual devotion and adaptive responses to these challenges, demonstrating the interplay of spirituality, resilience, and social cohesion in sustaining the community. Modern archaeological methods, including chemical and metallurgical analysis, 3D imaging, and environmental reconstruction, have greatly enhanced understanding of Sanxingdui, revealing details of settlement organization, production techniques, and ceremonial practices. These studies underscore the integration of technological skill, artistic creativity, and spiritual awareness, showing that the civilization's material culture functioned simultaneously as functional tools, vehicles for ritual expression, and embodiments of symbolic meaning. The influence of Sanxingdui extends beyond its immediate region, as stylistic motifs, bronze casting techniques, and symbolic representations appear in neighboring cultures, indicating that the civilization's innovations had a lasting cultural impact even after its disappearance. This challenges conventional historical assumptions about early civilization development, demonstrating that sophisticated societies could arise independently, innovate, and leave enduring legacies without leaving written records. Continued excavation and research are uncovering new dimensions of daily life, social hierarchy, artistic practice, and ritual performance, offering increasingly nuanced insight into the civilization's complexity, adaptability, and spiritual depth. Each artifact recovered provides both tangible evidence of human ingenuity and a window into symbolic, cosmological, and ritual meaning, allowing modern scholars and observers to reconstruct aspects of a society that thrived millennia ago. Studying Sanxingdui highlights the timeless human drive to create, innovate, and seek connection with forces beyond the visible world, illustrating how art, technology, and ritual preserve knowledge, identity, and spiritual expression across generations. As digital reconstruction, remote sensing, and analytical advancements continue to expand the possibilities of research, previously hidden facets of settlement planning, ceremonial activity, and technological practice are coming to light, reinforcing the civilization's enduring significance. In the next installment of the series, the focus will shift to examining the broader implications of Sanxingdui's discoveries for understanding the development of early Chinese civilization, the interplay between independent cultural innovation and regional interaction, and the lessons that this remarkable society offers about human creativity, resilience, and the pursuit of meaning, ensuring that the story of Sanxingdui continues to inspire scholarship, curiosity, and wonder around the world. The Sanxingdui series delves deeper into the civilization's extraordinary achievements, its complex social and spiritual structures, and the ongoing revelations that modern archaeology continues to uncover, emphasizing the ways in which this enigmatic society challenges conventional understandings of early Chinese civilization. Sanxingdui, located in the fertile river valleys of what is now Sichuan province, represents one of the most remarkable examples of an independent and highly sophisticated ancient society, distinguished by monumental bronze masks, intricately carved jade objects, ceremonial vessels, gilded ornaments, and other ritual artifacts, each demonstrating both technical mastery and profound symbolic meaning. Central to understanding Sanxingdui is its cosmology, which integrated human life, natural forces, and spiritual realms into a coherent worldview that shaped ritual practice, social organization, and artistic expression. Among the most iconic artifacts are the monumental bronze masks, characterized by wide, staring eyes, flared nostrils, and stylized, often surreal features, which likely functioned as representations of deities, ancestral spirits, or mythological beings. These masks may have been used in ceremonial contexts as instruments of spiritual mediation, as symbols of political or religious authority, or as expressions of cosmological ideas, conveying meaning and hierarchy without the use of written records. Their exaggerated and otherworldly forms suggest a sophisticated symbolic language capable of communicating complex social and spiritual concepts across generations. Complementing the masks are bronze trees, animal figures, ritual vessels, and ornamented objects, all meticulously designed to embody spiritual, cosmological, and symbolic principles. The bronze trees, often elaborately branched and decorated, may have symbolized the axis mundi, connecting heaven, earth, and humanity, while animal motifs could represent ancestral spirits, mythological creatures, or natural forces, emphasizing the interconnectedness of human and non-human worlds and the centrality of ritual in maintaining social and cosmic harmony. One of the most remarkable aspects of Sanxingdui is the discovery of sacrificial pits containing thousands of deliberately broken, burned, and buried objects. These deposits, carefully arranged, reveal highly organized ceremonial practices, likely overseen by religious or political elites, intended to restore cosmic balance, commemorate significant events, or respond to environmental and social challenges. The scale and intentionality of these ritual acts illustrate the society's capacity for coordinated labor, social cohesion, and symbolic sophistication, demonstrating that ritual was integral to both governance and community identity. Technologically, Sanxingdui exhibited extraordinary mastery of bronze casting, employing advanced mold-making techniques, precise temperature control, and collaborative production methods to produce monumental, intricate, and enduring sculptures and ceremonial objects. Jade carving, ivory shaping, and selective gilding highlight both artistic refinement and spiritual purpose, showing that material craftsmanship was inseparable from ritual and symbolic expression. The presence of exotic materials, obtained through trade or cultural exchange networks, suggests that Sanxingdui was not isolated but actively engaged with surrounding regions, integrating new ideas, techniques, and resources into its unique artistic and ritual repertoire. Despite its remarkable achievements, the civilization ultimately disappeared from historical memory, leaving no written explanation for its decline. Environmental factors, including flooding, seismic activity, or changes in river courses, may have undermined agriculture, settlement stability, and social cohesion, while internal social or political shifts, including population movements or leadership transitions, could have contributed to gradual transformation. The sacrificial pits may thus represent both spiritual devotion and adaptive responses to these challenges, illustrating the interplay of ritual, social resilience, and community continuity. Modern archaeological methods, including chemical and metallurgical analysis, 3D imaging, and environmental reconstruction, have provided unprecedented insight into the civilization's settlement organization, production techniques, and ceremonial practices. These studies reveal the intricate relationship between technological skill, artistic creativity, and spiritual belief, showing that Sanxingdui's material culture functioned as both practical tools and vehicles for symbolic communication. The influence of Sanxingdui extends beyond its immediate region, as stylistic motifs, bronze casting techniques, and ritual practices appear in neighboring cultures, suggesting that the civilization's ideas persisted even after its disappearance. This challenges conventional historical assumptions about early civilizations, demonstrating that sophisticated, independent societies could develop, innovate, and leave enduring cultural legacies without written records. Continued excavation and research reveal new dimensions of daily life, social hierarchy, ritual performance, and technological practice, offering nuanced insight into the civilization's adaptability, creativity, and spiritual depth. Each recovered artifact serves as both a testament to human ingenuity and a window into symbolic and cosmological meaning, allowing modern scholars to reconstruct aspects of a society that thrived millennia ago. Studying Sanxingdui underscores the timeless human drive to create, innovate, and connect with forces beyond the visible world, showing how art, technology, and ritual can preserve knowledge, identity, and spiritual expression across generations. As digital reconstruction, remote sensing, and advanced analytical methods continue to expand research possibilities, previously hidden aspects of settlement planning, ritual activity, and technological innovation are coming to light, further revealing the civilization's enduring significance. In the next part of the series, attention will shift to exploring the broader implications of Sanxingdui's discoveries for understanding early Chinese civilization, the dynamics of independent cultural development, and the enduring lessons this extraordinary society offers about human creativity, resilience, and the pursuit of meaning, ensuring that the story of Sanxingdui continues to inspire wonder, scholarship, and global curiosity. Sanxingdui series continues to explore the civilization's profound artistic, technological, and spiritual achievements, focusing on the latest discoveries and interpretations that shed new light on one of the most enigmatic societies of ancient China. Located in the fertile river valleys of what is now Sichuan province, Sanxingdui represents an independent and highly sophisticated culture that developed monumental bronze statues, intricate jade carvings, gilded ornaments, ceremonial vessels, and a variety of ritual artifacts, each reflecting exceptional technical skill, aesthetic sensibility, and deep symbolic meaning. The civilization's worldview was rooted in a cosmology that linked human life, natural forces, and the spiritual realm into a coherent system guiding ritual practice, governance, and artistic expression. Among its most iconic creations are the bronze masks, characterized by wide, staring eyes, flared nostrils, and surrealized facial features. These masks are believed to have functioned as representations of deities, ancestral spirits, or mythological beings, serving both ceremonial and social purposes. They may have been used in rituals to mediate between the human and divine, to assert social or religious authority, or to embody cosmological principles, communicating complex ideas without the need for written language. Their exaggerated and otherworldly forms reflect a symbolic system capable of transmitting nuanced spiritual, social, and political meaning across generations. Complementing the masks are bronze trees, animal figures, ritual vessels, and elaborately decorated ornaments, each embodying spiritual, cosmological, and symbolic significance. Bronze trees, often decorated with intricate branches and motifs, may have represented the axis mundi, connecting heaven, earth, and humanity, while animal representations likely embodied ancestral spirits, mythological forces, or natural elements, emphasizing the civilization's integration of human, natural, and spiritual worlds and the centrality of ritual in maintaining social and cosmic harmony. The sacrificial pits of Sanxingdui, containing thousands of deliberately broken, burned, and buried artifacts, stand as one of the most striking and enigmatic features of the civilization. These deposits, arranged with care and precision, reflect highly organized ritual practices likely overseen by religious or political elites. Such acts may have been intended to restore cosmic balance, mark important communal or political events, or respond to environmental or social crises, illustrating the profound interconnection between ritual, social organization, and spiritual expression. Technologically, Sanxingdui demonstrates remarkable mastery of bronze casting, which required advanced mold-making, precise temperature control, and coordinated labor to produce monumental and intricately detailed works. Jade carving, ivory shaping, and selective gilding further highlight the civilization's technical sophistication and ceremonial intention, demonstrating that artistic skill was inseparable from spiritual and symbolic purpose. The presence of exotic materials and the stylistic diversity of artifacts suggest that Sanxingdui engaged in long-distance trade or cultural exchange, absorbing external influences while preserving a unique cultural identity. Despite its remarkable accomplishments, the civilization ultimately disappeared from historical memory, leaving no written explanation for its decline. Environmental disruptions, including flooding, seismic activity, or changing river courses, may have undermined agriculture, settlement stability, and social cohesion, while internal social and political factors, such as population movements or leadership transitions, could have contributed to gradual transformation. The sacrificial pits may therefore reflect both ritual devotion and adaptive responses to these challenges, demonstrating the interplay of spirituality, resilience, and community continuity. Modern archaeological techniques, including chemical and metallurgical analysis, 3D imaging, and environmental reconstruction, have provided unprecedented insight into Sanxingdui's settlement organization, production methods, and ceremonial practices. These studies highlight the integration of technological expertise, artistic creativity, and spiritual awareness, showing that the civilization's material culture functioned simultaneously as functional tools, vehicles for ritual expression, and embodiments of symbolic meaning. Sanxingdui's influence appears beyond its immediate geographic region, as stylistic motifs, bronze casting methods, and ritual practices can be traced in neighboring cultures, indicating that its innovations persisted. After the civilization itself vanished, challenging conventional historical assumptions and illustrating the capacity of independent societies to leave enduring cultural legacies. Continued excavation and research are revealing new aspects of daily life, social hierarchy, ritual performance, and technological practice, offering increasingly nuanced understanding of the civilization's complexity, adaptability, and spiritual depth. Each artifact serves both as tangible evidence of human ingenuity and as a medium for interpreting symbolic and cosmological meaning, allowing modern scholars to reconstruct the worldview, social organization, and ritual systems of a society that thrived without written records. Studying Sanxingdui underscores the timeless human impulse to create, innovate, and communicate with forces beyond the visible world, demonstrating how art, ritual, and technology can preserve knowledge, identity, and spiritual expression across generations. As research advances through digital reconstruction, remote sensing, and sophisticated analytical methods, previously hidden facets of settlement planning, ceremonial activity, and artistic production are emerging, further revealing the civilization's enduring significance. In the next part of the series, attention will focus on how Sanxingdui continues to reshape interpretations of early Chinese civilization, illuminate the dynamics of independent cultural innovation, and provide enduring lessons about human creativity, resilience, and the pursuit of meaning, ensuring that this extraordinary civilization continues to inspire scholarship, curiosity, and wonder worldwide. The Sanxingdui series delves into the continuing revelations about one of the most enigmatic civilizations of ancient China, exploring the intricate interplay of artistry, ritual, technology, and social organization that define this remarkable society. Located in the fertile river valleys of present-day Sichuan province, Sanxingdui represents an independent cultural development that flourished contemporaneously with other early civilizations yet remains distinct in style, symbolism, and spiritual outlook. The civilization's artistic legacy is dominated by monumental bronze masks, many of which feature exaggerated facial features, wide staring eyes, and stylized forms that convey both a sense of power and a spiritual presence. These masks are thought to have represented deities, ancestral spirits, or mythological entities, serving as instruments of ritual mediation and social authority while embodying complex cosmological ideas. Their surreal and otherworldly design reflects a sophisticated symbolic language, capable of communicating spiritual, social, and political messages across generations without the use of written records. Complementing these masks are bronze trees, animal-shaped figures, ceremonial vessels, jade ornaments, and gilded objects, each demonstrating meticulous craftsmanship and profound symbolic intent. Bronze trees, often intricately branched and decorated, are interpreted as symbols of the axis mundi, connecting heaven, earth, and humanity, while animal motifs may represent ancestral spirits, mythological forces, or elements of the natural world, emphasizing the civilization's awareness of interconnectedness and the central role of ritual in maintaining both cosmic and social harmony. One of the most striking features of Sanxingdui is the discovery of sacrificial pits containing thousands of deliberately broken, burned, and buried objects. These carefully arranged deposits suggest highly organized ceremonial activity, likely overseen by religious or political elites, and may have been performed to restore cosmic balance, mark significant events, or respond to environmental or social crises. The scale and intentionality of these rituals indicate a society capable of coordinated labor, social cohesion, and symbolic sophistication, highlighting the inseparable nature of ritual, governance, and community identity. Technologically, Sanxingdui exhibits extraordinary mastery of bronze casting, employing advanced mold-making techniques, precise temperature control, and collaborative production to create massive, intricate, and enduring works. Jade carving, ivory shaping, and selective gilding further reveal the civilization's technical refinement and spiritual purpose, demonstrating how material craftsmanship was both an aesthetic achievement and a vehicle for ritual and symbolic expression. The discovery of exotic materials and the presence of stylistic diversity suggest that Sanxingdui engaged with broader regional networks through trade or cultural exchange, incorporating new ideas and resources while maintaining a distinctive artistic and symbolic identity. Despite these accomplishments, the civilization ultimately disappeared from historical memory, leaving no written explanation for its decline. Environmental factors, such as flooding, earthquakes, or changes in river courses, may have disrupted agriculture, settlement stability, and social cohesion, while internal social and political dynamics, including population movements or leadership transitions, may have contributed to gradual transformation. The sacrificial pits may therefore reflect both ritual devotion and adaptive responses to these challenges, illustrating the interplay of spirituality, social resilience, and communal continuity. Modern archaeological methods, including chemical and metallurgical analysis, 3D imaging, and environmental reconstruction, have provided unprecedented insight into Sanxingdui's settlement organization, technological innovation, and ceremonial practices. These studies highlight the integration of technical skill, artistic creativity, and spiritual awareness, showing that the civilization's material culture functioned simultaneously as practical tools, vehicles for ritual expression, and embodiments of symbolic meaning. Sanxingdui's influence is evident beyond its immediate region, as stylistic motifs, bronze casting techniques, and symbolic practices appear in neighboring cultures, indicating that its innovations persisted even after the society vanished, challenging conventional historical assumptions and demonstrating the capacity of independent societies to leave enduring cultural legacies. Continued excavation and research are revealing new aspects of daily life, social hierarchy, ritual performance, and technological practice, providing increasingly nuanced understanding of the civilization's complexity, adaptability, and spiritual depth. Each artifact serves as both tangible evidence of human ingenuity and a lens through which symbolic and cosmological meaning can be interpreted, allowing scholars to reconstruct the worldview, social organization, and ceremonial life of a society that flourished without written documentation. Studying Sanxingdui emphasizes the timeless human drive to create, innovate, and connect with forces beyond the visible world, showing how art, ritual, and technology preserve knowledge, identity, and spiritual expression across generations. As digital reconstruction, remote sensing, and analytical methods continue to advance, previously hidden aspects of settlement planning, ceremonial activity, and artistic production are being revealed, further demonstrating the civilization's enduring significance. In the next part of the series, attention will focus on how the discoveries at Sanxingdui continue to reshape modern interpretations of early Chinese civilization, illuminating the interplay between independent cultural innovation, regional influence, and human creativity, ensuring that the story of this extraordinary society continues to inspire scholarship, curiosity, and wonder around the world. The Sanxingdui series explores the civilization's enduring enigma, focusing on the remarkable interplay of artistry, technology, ritual, and social organization that continues to captivate scholars and the public alike, demonstrating how this ancient society achieved an extraordinary level of sophistication while leaving no written record of its existence. Located in the fertile river valleys of what is now Sichuan province, Sanxingdui represents an independent and highly advanced culture that developed monumental bronze sculptures, intricately carved jade artifacts, gilded ornaments, ceremonial vessels, and other ritual objects, all of which reveal a deep integration of technical skill, aesthetic sensibility, and symbolic purpose. Central to the civilization's identity was a cosmology that connected human life, natural forces, and spiritual realms into a unified worldview, guiding daily practices, social hierarchy, governance, and ceremonial activity. Among the most iconic creations are the bronze masks, many of which feature exaggerated facial features, wide staring eyes, and stylized, surreal expressions. These masks are believed to have represented deities, ancestral spirits, or mythological entities, serving as ritual instruments to mediate between humans and the divine, as well as symbols of social and spiritual authority within the community. Their otherworldly forms suggest a symbolic language capable of conveying complex spiritual, social, and political messages without reliance on written text, reflecting the civilization's sophisticated understanding of communication, symbolism, and ritual power. Complementing the masks are bronze trees, animal figures, ceremonial vessels, jade ornaments, and gilded objects, each meticulously crafted to convey spiritual and cosmological meaning. Bronze trees, often adorned with intricate branches and symbolic motifs, may have represented the axis mundi, connecting heaven, earth, and humanity, while animal representations could symbolize ancestral spirits, mythological forces, or natural phenomena, reinforcing the civilization's sense of interconnectedness and the central role of ritual in sustaining social and cosmic order. The sacrificial pits of Sanxingdui, containing thousands of deliberately broken, burned, and buried objects, provide some of the most compelling evidence of the society's ritual sophistication. These carefully arranged deposits, likely overseen by religious or political elites, suggest highly organized ceremonial activity intended to restore cosmic balance, commemorate major events, or respond to environmental and social crises. The scale, precision, and intentionality of these practices demonstrate the society's capacity for coordinated labor, social cohesion, and symbolic expression, highlighting the inseparable nature of ritual, governance, and community identity. Technologically, Sanxingdui exhibits extraordinary mastery of bronze casting, requiring advanced mold-making techniques, precise temperature control, and collaborative production processes to create monumental, intricate, and enduring works. Jade carving, ivory shaping, and selective gilding further illustrate the civilization's technical expertise and ceremonial intent, showing that artistic and material craftsmanship were deeply intertwined with ritual and symbolic expression. The presence of exotic materials and the stylistic diversity of artifacts indicate that Sanxingdui was engaged with wider regional networks, absorbing external ideas and resources while maintaining a distinctive cultural and symbolic identity. Despite its achievements, the civilization ultimately vanished from historical memory, leaving no written explanation for its decline. Environmental factors, such as flooding, earthquakes, or shifts in river courses, may have undermined agricultural productivity and settlement stability, while internal social or political dynamics, including population movements or changes in leadership, could have contributed to gradual transformation. The sacrificial pits may thus reflect both ritual devotion and adaptive responses to these challenges, illustrating the interconnection of spirituality, social resilience, and communal cohesion. Modern archaeological techniques, including chemical and metallurgical analysis, 3D imaging, and environmental reconstruction, have provided unprecedented insight into the society's settlement organization, technological practice, and ceremonial life. These studies underscore the integration of technical skill, artistic creativity, and spiritual awareness, showing that Sanxingdui's material culture functioned simultaneously as practical tools, ritual instruments, and vessels of symbolic meaning. The influence of Sanxingdui extends beyond its immediate region, as stylistic motifs, bronze casting techniques, and ritual practices appear in neighboring cultures, suggesting that its innovations endured even after the society's disappearance. This challenges conventional historical assumptions about early civilizations and demonstrates the capacity of independent societies to produce enduring cultural and artistic legacies without written records. Continued excavation and research are revealing new aspects of daily life, social hierarchy, ritual performance, and technological practice, offering increasingly nuanced understanding of the civilization's complexity, adaptability, and spiritual depth. Each recovered artifact provides both evidence of human ingenuity and a lens through which symbolic and cosmological meaning can be interpreted, allowing scholars to reconstruct aspects of a society that flourished millennia ago. Studying Sanxingdui highlights the timeless human drive to create, innovate, and communicate with forces beyond the visible world, demonstrating how art, ritual, and technology can preserve knowledge, identity, and spiritual expression across generations. As digital reconstruction, remote sensing, and advanced analytical methods continue to evolve, previously hidden facets of settlement planning, ceremonial activity, and artistic production are being revealed, further demonstrating the civilization's enduring significance. In the next installment of the series, the focus will shift to examining how Sanxingdui's discoveries continue to reshape contemporary understanding of early Chinese civilization, influence interpretations of independent cultural innovation, and highlight the universal human impulse to create, innovate, and connect with the spiritual and symbolic realms. ensuring that the legacy of this extraordinary society continues to inspire wonder, research, and curiosity around the world. The Sanxingdui series delves into the civilization's lasting significance, examining how its extraordinary artistry, technological mastery, and ritual sophistication continue to inform our understanding of ancient China and the diversity of early civilizations. Situated in the fertile river valleys of present-day Sichuan province, Sanxingdui emerged as a highly independent and innovative society, producing monumental bronze masks, intricately carved jade objects, gilded ornaments, ceremonial vessels, and other ritual artifacts that reveal both technical expertise and profound symbolic intent. Central to the culture was a cosmology that integrated human life, natural forces, and spiritual realms, shaping daily practices, governance, social hierarchy, and ceremonial performance, while guiding the creation of objects imbued with symbolic, spiritual, and aesthetic significance. Among the most emblematic artifacts are the bronze masks, many of which feature exaggerated facial features, wide staring eyes, and surrealized forms that convey a sense of spiritual presence and authority. These masks likely represented deities, ancestral spirits, or mythological beings, functioning as ritual instruments to mediate between humans and the divine, as symbols of political and spiritual authority, and as visual expressions of cosmological concepts that could be understood without written language. Their dramatic forms exemplify a symbolic system capable of transmitting complex social, spiritual, and political messages across generations. Complementing the masks are bronze trees, animal figures, ceremonial vessels, jade ornaments, and gilded objects, each crafted with careful attention to symbolic and ritual significance. Bronze trees, with elaborately branched and decorated forms, may have represented the axis mundi, connecting heaven, earth, and humanity, while animal representations could signify ancestral spirits, mythological forces, or natural phenomena, reinforcing the society's awareness of interconnectedness and the centrality of ritual in maintaining cosmic and social balance. The sacrificial pits, containing thousands of intentionally broken, burned, and buried objects, are among the most striking indicators of Sanxingdui's ceremonial sophistication. These deposits, carefully arranged and likely overseen by religious or political elites, suggest highly organized ritual practices designed to restore cosmic balance, commemorate important events, or respond to environmental or social crises. The scale and intentionality of these practices reveal a society capable of coordinated labor, social cohesion, and symbolic complexity, demonstrating that ritual was inseparable from governance, communal identity, and spiritual life. Technologically, Sanxingdui demonstrates exceptional mastery of bronze casting, which required advanced mold-making techniques, precise temperature control, and collaborative production to create monumental, intricate, and durable works. Jade carving, ivory shaping, and selective gilding further attest to the civilization's technical sophistication and ceremonial intention, showing that artistic and material craftsmanship were deeply intertwined with spiritual and symbolic expression. The presence of exotic materials and stylistic diversity among the artifacts indicates that Sanxingdui was not isolated but engaged in cultural exchange and trade networks, integrating new techniques, ideas, and resources while maintaining a distinctive artistic and ritual identity. Despite its accomplishments, the civilization eventually disappeared from historical memory, leaving no written explanation for its decline. Environmental factors such as flooding, seismic activity, or changes in river systems may have disrupted agriculture, settlement stability, and social cohesion, while internal social or political dynamics, including leadership transitions or population movements, could have contributed to gradual transformation. The sacrificial pits may reflect both ritual devotion and adaptive responses to these challenges, illustrating the interplay of spirituality, resilience, and communal cohesion in sustaining society. Modern archaeological methods, including chemical and metallurgical analysis, 3D imaging, and environmental reconstruction, have revealed unprecedented insight into settlement organization, technological innovation, and ceremonial practice. These studies demonstrate the integration of technical skill, artistic creativity, and spiritual awareness, showing that Sanxingdui's material culture functioned as both functional tools and vessels of symbolic meaning.